What up, yo? What it do? What it is? This is the Peace Dealer, and welcome to another exciting episode of Transit Talk. Um, my fourth house Virgo is going a little crazy, so I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Much better. What's good? I see y'all in the live chat, chilling. Right now, let's just sit with this energy. I'm gonna have I'm gonna be switching the camera soon because I don't have a lot of battery left. So we won't have a lot of time of green screen. But regardless, I really would just like for you to sit with this energy right now. When I say sit with this energy, what is the main thing that's on your heart? Not even your mind. Like what are the very important or pressing things that have weighed on your heart? In another week or two, this is going to shift considerably. So what's on your heart now probably won't be in the same way, but the feeling behind what's on your heart and the root of that is probably not going to change. All right. And the theme of Pluto going retrograde is this resurrection of the initiated. I really wanted to title it Revenge of the Muggles or Return of the Uninitiated, but I didn't really like the slant or the way that sounded really. So I'm going with Resurrection of the Initiated. I say Resurrection of the Initiated because some of you may have felt over the past 6 to 8 months as you were developing more passion and more depth in understanding who you are and why you do what you do, you might have lost a bit of your fire, and you might have kind of lost a small bit of your drive. There's a very subtle and unconscious / subconscious essence of how a lot of your energy kind of speaks for you, especially if a lot of you have been very mentally focused and in your heads. It's almost as if you might notice that your energy is speaking to you. Your body is moving before you instruct it with your mind. I mean, you don't really instruct it with your mind, but it's definitely allowing you a different look at how you've been more aware of this unconscious force within you. So a lot of your conscious awareness, a lot of your passion and drive actually had to be sacrificed for you to go deeper within yourself, to also really be in a mood to kind of recover parts of yourself that you didn't have access to before. Okay? So I really want you to keep this in mind, because everything that you kind of lost or everything that you temporarily did away with, you're set to regain with this retrograde. And here's a practical application of this. It's almost as if when starting this main arc again and the main plot of your life, you had to go within a spiritual world. You had to really maneuver and explore your imagination, your feelings, these etheric and metaphysical concepts, taking in part the unseen, your thoughts. You really had to work within, you still will always have to work with this, but you've been having to work with this as far as updating new ways to think, ways to combat any bad habits with new behaviors. And what has happened to Pluto? Pluto has traveled from 18 degrees to 21 degrees. Pluto at the third decan of Capricorn is slowly facilitating this revolution that is brewing, okay, to where people are going to be fighting for their independence like never before. The reason why, like for those of you who've had military training, for those of you who know how to work your way around a gun, for those of you who have training in tactics, martial arts training, this is, you're stepping into a state where it's all about to like show its worth. For those of you who've been killing it and crushing it in the gym and, you know, getting stronger and getting in shape, a lot of this, especially by 2019, is also going to come into effect. And some of you have been drawn to yoga, Tai Chi. Some of you have been drawn to different ways to activate your inner core, okay? Pluto at the final decan of Capricorn, once Pluto goes past like 25 degrees and starts to enter into Aquarius, we are by like 2025, all right, in 2020, it's going to be like 23 degrees. So we're going to be entering a time where the control that the government has over the people, it's not going to exist like it does now. And we are going to enter a temporary state of total world anarchy. Okay? You're already seeing, remember before I was talking about how you don't have a lot of controlled areas. An area you might think is safe isn't really safe. Anyone can come in a van, bring out some AR-15s, and just start dumping before any police officers on site or anyone who's willing to stop them could do anything. Your area is probably not safe if a van full of assailants could do that. And I just said assailant, okay? So understand that is an instance of our local government not being able to enforce certain rules or laws at a certain level, because at that isolated instance, a local government will be able to suppress this and defend this turf. I say that in quotes. By Pluto, that's going to be at the end of Capricorn, we are going to enter a state where no one gives more of a damn about the laws. It's not everyone's going to be an anarchist, okay? Because there will be developments with our economy that can help stabilize greater growth, but we are entering a period where governments will destabilize because people riot all over the world, and there won't be rules for a small temporary period. And you're going to have people, okay, fighting each other. I want you to picture a global world civil war. And you know what I'm saying? If this doesn't happen, in 2025. If this doesn't happen while Pluto is in Aquarius, that's great. That means we definitely passed the test. It doesn't have to be a test, right? But that means we've evolved and matured. And it's very possible a lot of what's going to lead up to this are very non-helpful negotiations between world leaders and a lot of things getting exposed behind the scenes to the world at large, kind of like Edward Snowden did, all right, which will really shift people's minds. And by then, a lot of these rebellious youngsters are going to be a lot older and in positions to shift with their voting power, with their purchasing power. So for those of you who are feeling at a core level the obsession with like being your best self or getting stronger or at least being able to survive off the grid, to where if you didn't have internet, if you didn't have any of these, you know, if you didn't have any of these like luxuries, would you still be able to survive if you couldn't call 911 because your neighborhood is kind of like a purge simulation? Your spirits and your souls are trying to prepare you for a very powerful front of war. It's not preparing you to fear. This is the thing. This is the resurrection of the initiated. So Pluto just graced the 21 degree and it's moving back. We're going to go through Pluto retrograde until October in Libra season, and that's basically the first underdecade, and then Pluto will go direct. Remember, when the sun transits Aries to Libra, we're working on ourselves, we're working on our personalities, and we're working on who we are. The whole notion of anonymous agencies, vigilante units, and groups of people who are probably ex-military or, you know what I'm saying, a lot of intelligent organizations that exist outside the system. This is the world we're entering into. Saturn in Aquarius is going to lay the brick and mortar, and Jupiter is going to open this up 2020, so that by the late 2020s, we're going to have independent organizations that can exist outside the state and may actually have to change legislation and a little bit of the Constitution to learn how to balance that power from federal to the local. And the inability to regulate, I mean, just look how much trouble they had regulating Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. The inability to regulate a lot that's about to come out is what's going to lead to this anarchy, to where if you personally think that majority of people around the world at this stage in life are going to sit down and just follow a law just because, you're sadly mistaken, and you're in for a rude awakening. Things are so delicate that we really could just have riots incited all around the world because of the belief and the thought. That's how flimsy it is. It's a belief and a thought that allows people to even follow rules and laws. We're birthing children and we're entering into a time where the control of that and the ideology of that is going to be less. This is going to make room for more advanced. And I don't want you to think that it's going to be a perpetual state of anarchy. It's going to be very temporary, but it's going to be very life-changing. Okay, so you just really want to keep this in mind, because what Pluto in retrograde is doing now is it's preparing you. Some of you have been feeling this depth in your soul, your unconsciousness, your subconscious, and an unconscious force has been making itself known to you. It's almost like antimatter. And there's one thing for the initiated that I would really like to speak to you. For those of you who have been on this path, for those of you that have had experiences with spirits within others, right? You're entering a phase now where the time you've worked within, you're ready to see manifest in your outer level. And the spark that you connected within, you're ready to resurrect. All right. So let's go back in time. Everything up until 2018 was filler. From 2009 to 2017, it was relevant, but it was filler. It's not central to the main part of your plot. A lot of you had to go through a time skip because the universe had to write new material and deal with galactic shifts with the end of the Mayan calendar and all that, right? 2012 was in between that. Now, the first part of this main arc had a lot to do with rediscovering yourself and kind of activating energies, right? And now that we've moved past Aries season, remember, we're about to move outside the portal into the real world after Gemini season, okay? So this is what's going to allow you to start to integrate everything you've worked on within yourself out into the world. A lot of you woke up during the filler season. So think about that. Think about the politics behind the beginning of you waking up versus you starting the arc after you've woken up and after you've dealt with that. And now it's like you've had experience being awakened and you're starting this main arc again, okay? Once again, the reason why this is a huge deal is everything between the filler before 2009, you were slowly being prepared to embrace the existence of higher beings and higher energies. And I say this collectively. When I say this to you, I'm talking to a generational collective. When it comes to this generational collective being open to spirit guides, being open to higher beings, your view of it was starkly different before 2009, where some of you wouldn't even touch that, versus after. I say this collectively because if I was 50 years ago, the Destiny group and the collective group before ours ended with people born in the 70s. It cuts off like 76ish, Pluto Libra, basically. The next Destiny group collective is Pluto Libra from Pluto Pisces, which aren't even born yet. So that's what I'm talking to. If you're Pluto Virgo, you're the end of the old collective. So you've already woken up before the filler. You've already learned to connect with higher beings. And anyone who's Pluto Virgo is so pivotal because they're the end of that collective, ready to usher the way for the new collective. Basically, anyone born after 76, I want to say 74, Pluto Libra, and beyond. So this is allowing you to activate these energies at a higher level, which was what our ancestors agreed to do. They're doing so much for us. Your parents, your grandparents, they basically had to build a foundation so that we can start to have greater awareness so that people born in 2020 or the 2000s can be weird and freaky, and we'll know where it's coming from and we won't shun them, right? But we'll also regulate them because no generation is pure and innocent. So Pluto, that's moving backwards now, or retrograding, because it doesn't truly move backwards, is going to be preparing you for a different part of this warfare where everything up until now was very psychological. The filler was heavy warfare because while we were going through filler, it was a very trying time to really break certain people apart. And it was a really trying time to see where a lot of you stand. 2009 to 2017 for this new collective and Destiny group was a lot about seeing where a lot of you would choose, because when your soul is developing, some of you need more experience before you choose a path. And life is not so linear and black and white to where even the all-seeing beings and even higher entities can't just be like, oh, this person's going to do this person's going to do that. Predeterminism only works to a degree when someone has free will decisions over their life. So sometimes your spirit guides, sometimes your higher selves, sometimes people around you have to give you time to experience, right? So that we'll see, are you going to let your experiences take you to a dark place and a downward spiral or an upward spiral? At the end of this filler arc, you made your decision. Some of you went through, so you know, this is the equivalent to that Bible story in the Old Testament where the devil was like, you know, Job ain't shit, bro. Job ain't crap. Like, you're acting like Job is your number one servant. First of all, isn't that cool, by the way, that the devil could just go up to heaven and talk shit with God whenever he wanted? Like the devil just came, the devil stays adversary, right? Or whatever. But God was like, oh, Job's the finest. Don't hate on my homie Job. Don't hate on my homie Job. And the devil was like, all right, let's bet. Let's bet. He only likes you because you blessed him. He got all the money in the world. This dude has a plentiful family. I bet you take all that stuff away. Let me have a day with this dude, and he'll curse you to your face. And then God looked at Job. God gave Job the look like when you tell Sagittarius that something that they know is right is wrong, and then Sagittarius just looks back at you like, okay, what you trying to bet? What you trying to bet? What you trying to bet? And so God was like, don't kill Job, but have your way. And in a day, Job lost his family. Job lost his cattle, his riches, all in a day. The devil was like, this is it. This is it. Mind you, some people get their iPhones stolen. Some people lose their job and they just lose themselves. They get broken. All right. Some people gain things. The only thing worse than losing something is gaining things and letting corrupt you, right? But Job lost everything. And the devil was like, yep, I'm about to win this bet. I'm finna win this bet right now. Job ain't crap. Job ain't shit. And, you know, Job was just like, you know what? You win some, you lose some. Basically, Job just kept praying to God, like, you know what? It's all good. It's all good. I'm not going to let this shake my faith. You know, the devil was a little tight. You know, God was talking mad shit like, yep, that's mine right there. That's mine. Don't, your angels, your spirit guides, like they be rooting for you. Your ancestors on the other side, like they root for you. They be like, yep, that's my, I was assigned to that one. All right. The higher selves, Zeus, all you Sagittariuses who are sons and daughters of Zeus, Zeus just be in Mount Olympus like, yep, you see that wild and crazy Sag? That one's mine. Oh, yes. And then he'll be arguing with Saturn, and Saturn be like, but that's my Capricorn right there. Like, see my Capricorn regulating stuff, and then Zeus and Kronos just be arguing and whatever, and then it's all good. But God was like, that's Job right there. What were you talking about? What were you talking about, Lucy? What were you talking about saying? You were saying he was going to curse me? And then you know how the devil is just an accusing ass mofo and he just can't let things go. I'm talking to, and some of you are angels, by the way. Some of you are reincarnated angels who were up in heaven seeing all this go down. So you know what I'm talking about. It's just story time ago, right? But it's like, you know, the devil could let that go. The devil just like, nah, B. It's cause he doesn't have any illnesses. If you were to stricken his body, you just took away all his possessions. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then God gave the side eye to Raphael, and Raphael's like, the devil reaching. And God's like, look at the devil reaching right now. This motherfucker don't even know. And then the devil's like, nah, son, you gotta give him some diseases, and then he'll curse you. Okay? And you know what I'm saying? The devil just kind of messed with his health, and Job didn't stop. Job didn't stop. Okay? Some of you had to go through some trying situations. I don't think a lot of you had to go through what Job did. Some of you did. But the whole purpose of that was to really test when you got broken, you know, Saturn and Scorpio, when you got your perceptions twisted, Saturn and Sagittarius, when relationships broke all the way down for you, Saturn and Libra, this was a very trying period in time to not only test, but see where you take your free will. This is another reason why I said it's a spiritual war over your free will, and you have access to both sides. But how did you personally let your experiences shape your decisions, and most importantly, shape what your heart is? Some people let the experiences of the filler arc allow them to be very evil, dark, and twisted people. And you walk and you see them, and you see that they have a smile in their face and they're very charming, but they have a dark side that you would never believe. Some people got beat up, but they still entered this main arc with their heart still intact and with them still believing. Let me tell you this one more time. I don't care how it looks. I know there's a lot of people that know how to fake the funk. There are a lot of people who have turned their hearts dark. There are a lot of people who have lost friends and family. They didn't have people give a damn about them, and they are in a very dark place. And it's only other people in the light who can bring that light to them. This is what I mean when I say spiritual warfare, where you can't, at this point in this main arc, you can't do all your light work from behind the computer screen. I'm talking to myself just as much as I'm saying to you. Most of you watching this, you don't just live on the internet. You bring this light to other people, okay? But as Pluto was going into the third decan and hitting uncharted territory, you had to go within yourself. This is like meditating deep into your theta or alpha wave. Wrong wave, but this is like meditating very deep. And so you've allowed certain people in your sphere, both good and bad for you, just to be. Some of you were really in a position where it's not that you didn't have discernment, but you had the blindfold over your eyes. Pluto going retrograde is resurrecting the initiated. It's bringing up the uninitiated, and it's letting everyone know. It's a mini judgment day period over 6 months that's letting everyone know where people stand. This is where we're going to see and be revealed who has evil hearts and who has pure hearts. It's okay to go through dark periods, by the way. So it's okay to have evil thoughts. It's okay to release negative energy. No one is truly pure. Sometimes you can get cut off on the road. Sometimes you can just have dark thoughts. Sometimes you could really feel like doing dark things. There is nobody in the world who has nothing but pure positive thoughts. Find them, and I will point them out to be the biggest liar ever, ever. Everyone has that. But where is your heart? Does your heart and consciousness not have you feed that side? Or does your heart and consciousness give into that darkness? This is the phase of the spiritual war where we're going to be seeing a lot more possessions that have already occurred, and we're going to see a lot of people who fought against their demons and won. Okay? We're in the main arc right now. The main arc is now featuring certain people who have decided, like Saturn, do you get what I'm saying? Saturn and Capricorn is, there's no more excuses. You've made your decision with your actions, and not everything you have done may have been the right thing to do, but you're not supposed to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. What are you still doing? Some of you might have gone in a downward spiral your entire life, doing nothing but bad, bad, bad. And let me tell you, because you might not hear this from much else, there's a lot of people that will make you feel like you've ruined your life and that there's nothing that can be done to repair it. And that's a bold-faced lie. It's not about how high up the spiral you've gone. All that it matters is that when it's said and done, were you willingly going down, or even at that last moment when you've been going down, you make that decision to go back up? Even if you didn't make it out that spiral, you're not going to be judged based off of the fact that you were down there. Some people have experiences in this life and are around influences in this life to where that's all they know. But everyone has free will and everyone has light within them. So what it's about is, when you do get judged, when that judgment day comes, are you walking up? Are you doing better for yourself? Are you willingly not making excuses so that you can be feeling alive? And I have to say it this way because some people in the society we live in will willingly judge you and make you feel bad. They won't care that you're making an honest effort to go up that spiral. All they're going to see is, oh, you're in that dark side. Ooh, you're in that negative spiral, okay? And that same judging is what causes people to stop going up that positive spiral and decide to go back down when there's no acknowledgement and when there's no transparency. So a lot of people who are caught in negative downward spirals don't deserve to be there and are perpetuated to keep there. And this is where, when I say resurrection of the initiated, you really understand how the enemy is not your flesh and blood. There is no real person in this world who is your enemy. The enemy is, and always has been, higher principalities, evil spirits in high places that influence, possess, and mess with other people. What I'm saying is inherently controversial because I'm removing a lot of responsibility from physical human beings in a world that is so obsessed with quantifying the unexplainable and undefinable that it will inevitably be its downfall. So people are getting blamed when they need to be loved. There are people who live their whole life misunderstood because they were feared, they were labeled, they were put in a box. And if only we had the right technology and spiritual wisdom to actually help these people, to perform exorcisms on these people, to not, I don't know, prescribe them with pills that don't work or make them more crazy, and send Reiki healing and love, that cliche, corny shit that people don't want to accept. It works. I've seen it work. I've actually seen this change people. And this already is applied in addiction facilities. So I'm not saying that this never happens. When we look at people who have recovered from addictions, when we look at people who have recovered from that, it's that love they got. It's that support they got. Okay? So keep this in mind, because the next stage of this war, a lot of you light workers, a lot of you who are initiated, the reason why you had to go in and find that inner light, the reason why you had to find that inner strength, the reason why you have to really work on your physical realm too and be strong, you're going to be placed in situations where you have to deal with people in dark places, whether they're a crackhead on the street or whether they're the CFO of a company and their heart is so corrupt that they're embezzling funds and committing the worst type of white collar crimes. You're going to have to, with no judgment in your heart, help these people walk an upward spiral. Because if there's one thing that all these people have in common when they're going in that downward spiral, it's not because they really want to. And not everyone is that twisted. I'm not going to say they don't exist. I'm not going to say truly evil, twisted don't exist. But I'm just going to let you know the light in your vessel is way stronger than the evil people have. And you have to remember how much fear is a liar. I'm not going to say that people who operate in those frequencies are not dangerous. That's not true. But I am saying don't fall for the hype. Love trumps fear. And I'm not talking about the superficial love that's like, oh, positivity. I'm talking about the true strength that comes from love that will make you be at someone's side in 4 o'clock in the morning, helping them and holding space for them. Love that's there and love that cares. That will always be stronger and more powerful than hate, than evil. Real love that expresses itself towards kindness, to where you know you don't want to be up that late. You know you could do so much stuff better with the resources you have, but you're using it to help others. You're using it to fill light into other people's spirits and souls. And it's only something you can experience if you step out your comfort zone or expand your comfort zone and do it. Thankfully, this resurrection of the initiated is going to apply to you, where you're not only going to be put in situations, but you're going to start understanding your intuitions towards certain people. Some of you have felt vibes that come from other people. And I think you might have felt that if you were to listen to each and every single vibe, you might be stuck up or you might be a little bit closed off. Battery dies. So I'm going to just switch it here. And you have to understand that's not the case at all. Okay. Some of you really do. Some of your intuitions are too sensitive and spot on. And so you've kind of felt stuck. You're in positions where your soul or spirit might not be easy with certain people, but you also don't know what to do about the situation, or you're just not sure how to apply intellect or change the situation that you're in. And that's totally fine, because this Pluto retrograde, like a Venus flytrap, brought these people into your life, brought misunderstanding, brought these situations. And now that Pluto's retrograding and your inner fire resurrects, you're going to be in a position to do things you may have never thought possible. And this is the theme, and this is really the direction that I'd like to take you in. Remember, Saturn's in Capricorn, so you've already decided with your actions the person you are. Of course, if there's certain parts of yourself that you're wanting to change, it's never too late to do that. But keep in mind, based on these decisions, the main arc of your life has moved forward based on that, okay? And a lot of how you walk this path is going to significantly impact moving forward a lot of this energy. Because sexual energy as well with Pluto retrograde, highlighting Lilith is also going to spicing up very lively. You're going to be attracting soulmates into your life, or already with existing people in your life who specifically take your sacral chakra and your root chakra and they burn it on fire. There's going to be a lot of sexual alchemy that stokes and opens your heart to simulate and also bring into motion Kundalini risings. All right. And for some of you, this could really happen in the context of friends or one night stands. So the whole notion with this energy, with Lilith here and Pluto, this is not romantic, I'm going to live with you the rest of my life energy. This is deep, dark, twin flame, sexual, vibrational energy that's going to activate energy in you. For those of you who are in relationships, this might happen in your relationships with others, but over the course of this 6-month period, you're going to just have energetic connections with people whose sole purpose is just to activate the raw energy in your kundalini. You can have affectionate love towards someone, but there's certain people who strike this fire within you and you within them. This is what's going to be brought together. And it's not really like a true twin flame. It's not really a false twin flame. One thing that happens in the community is when you meet a soulmate that doesn't really fulfill your expectations, or it's not long term, we call them false partners. They're not false partners. They're not karmic partners or soulmates. It's necessary, and certain things aren't necessarily supposed to happen the way that we expect them to. So it doesn't necessarily make someone a false twin just because you might have met someone while they were going through a dark period in their life. This is the misleading rhetoric in thoughts of school, like the twin flame community or the soulmate community, that can sometimes make things more idealized than they should. Of course, any real twin flame practitioner or soulmate practitioner that speaks of this, they also teach people not to be so caught up in ideals. It's just, you want to kind of throw away all labels of twin flame, soulmate. If you're too caught up on it, is this person my soulmate or is this person my twin flame? It's going to really just rid you of the opportunity to connect with a soul. All right. And that's really the most important thing. Just having us, you can have a soul connection with someone who's your twin flame or with someone who's not your soulmate, because we all have souls. And some of you really just need to connect with other people and not care if they're your soulmate or not. You can and that will at least help you remember how to kind of connect. Some people are just too obsessed and fixated over that, and that's what's blocking you from this. But the Pluto retrograde is actually what's going to bring deep, dark sexual encounters that literally that bring up everything that was suppressed. And once again, like this will be random for some of you. Some of you might feel like, oh, I don't have any sexual opportunities. This is fated. So this isn't something that you're meant to control or manipulate into existence. It's going to happen. And all your job is, you have a choice here. You can choose to open this or not. It's going to be a karmic connection because the purpose of this is to really help both of you learn how to harness obsessive parts of your personality while still opening your heart. So accept this as it comes in. This is going to really open up a lot of feelings. It's going to be very magnetic, and you'll feel your energy like never before. But after it happens, the one thing you don't want to do is be like, so what are we? So where are we going? No. Don't focus on that. What you want to focus on is more so the moment to moment connection you have. And if things go that way, they'll naturally develop. Remember, Venus is also in Gemini. Yes, get you an astral realm, boo. Shout out to my 12 housers. But Venus is also in Gemini. So if you're too busy figuring out, oh my gosh, how can I keep this person? All right. Now, some of you have like Venus and Taurus like me, or some of you are earthbound. Like, there's a difference between fantasizing and acting on something. If someone makes you feel very special, and you fantasize about marrying them and you want it and you feel that and you're lost in this fantasy of having kids with them, you can do that. In fact, you should do that. Just don't make any plans. Make sure when you're dealing with this person in real life, you're leaving things open and you're not trying to manipulate things. That's something that's misunderstood. Because you have mind readers out here who judge based off of what they pick up on people. Your obsessions and your fantasies are your obsessions and fantasies. Screw these people who are trying to make you feel like you have to be guilty for indulging in your obsessions and indulging in your fantasies. Life is all about moderation. It's your responsibility to make sure that your obsessions and fantasies do not undo who you are as a human being. And that is your imagination. There's nothing wrong with you exercising your right brain. There's nothing wrong with you really fulfilling a lot of what your heart wants. All right. So if you have obsessions or fantasies about people, just keep that shit in your imagination. And one day you're going to meet someone who your obsessions and their fantasies mix together. But the key is they'll be open to it. So you will be feeling all sorts of stuff. Some of you who attach easily, just don't attach. You can feel like you want to attach to someone, but just don't attach. Let things be as they are, go with the flow. And by doing this, you'll find that certain things may fall into place. But for some of you, you'll find that even though you have feelings for someone, don't attach. The more you kind of just like appreciate it like a flower that you see and you just don't pluck and kill inadvertently, just appreciate the experiences that you have. You'll find that adopting this attitude is definitely going to allow you to appreciate a whole lot. Okay. That's a good question. There won't be a soul attachment because the whole purpose of this is to activate the inner flame through this dark sexual activity that will literally burn all attachments. So because the attachments are going to be burned, some of you are going to instantly feel like you need to attach, like, oh my gosh, I need to attach. And that's the whole purpose. If you do attach, things will get messy. So for those of you who you already don't attach, for those of you who are good at detaching, for those of you who are really more liberal with your sexuality, this is going to be a golden period for you. For those of you who attach really easily, you kind of, you can't help it, you fall in love, or you kind of connect too deeply, this is going to be a little bit tricky because you can let your feelings trick you here. All right. This is very devil card, lover's card energy. And the focus of this is for you to take that sexual experience and focus your energy with it. Okay. So other than that, shout out to Svetlexia. She's somewhere in the middle. That's usually the average. That's normal. That's very cool, actually, too, to be both. But regardless, this resurrection of the initiated is going to facilitate the sparks within you. And let's remember, this is happening up until Libra season. So the first part of Pluto going retrograde is going to facilitate the sun moving out of Gemini with Uranus moving into Taurus. And this is what's going to help you gain a very powerful ability of experiencing your supernatural power and harnessing this at a much more physical level. So that while we pass July into Cancer season, we're integrating 6 months worth of supernatural awakening into our relationships with people and into our outer world. Some of you have not really been aware of how this has been occurring. So I'm talking to you about supernatural awakening, and this might really just sound like a bunch of fairy mumbo jumbo. Please keep in mind, when I say supernatural awakening, I really mean supernatural awakening psychokinesis, telekinetic and telepathic mastery, to where if you're not a Sagittarius, if you're not a Capricorn, if you're not an Aquarius, and if you're not a Pisces, or you don't have your moon in those energies, you're not going to be as aware of the process. A lot of this is happening at microscopic DNA cellular levels. So it's not something that you're just going to notice. This is why you have to be deep within yourself. All right. Those final 4 signs are the zodiac signs who are experiencing this at the highest level, and they're aware of it. Every other zodiac sign, like Virgos, will notice it a little bit. All right. If we see the second quadrant right there, everything from Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and Leo, that second 4, you guys kind of see it. You guys don't. If you're Gemini, if you're Taurus, if you're Aries, if you're Cancer, you're going to be aware of it, but you don't really know how deeply you're evolving. And that's totally okay. So once we step out of Gemini season, a lot of it is just going to switch. All right. Sagittarius, Aquarius, Capricorn, Pisces. You know what I mean? Your awareness is so huge. HTHTV3, if that's what you want to do, you could totally do that. I don't recommend that for everyone, because some people, it may kind of do the opposite for them. But that might work for you for sure if you're drawn to it. Now, be very mindful, because it's the awareness that's allowing you to be there, and the highest awareness is the last 4 zodiac signs. So you guys are Aquarius, Pisces, Sag, Cap, you guys are going to see and know as it's happening. You see it happening with other people. You're on a whole nother level. But everyone else, this is May. Uranus is going to go into Taurus. We're going to leave Gemini season, and you're going to see things just flip switch in your life, where you're dealing with scenarios that's going to demand stronger and higher parts of yourself than you think you can do. Just know you can do it. And not only just know you can do it, you have to understand this is not coming from just nowhere. It may seem like things are just coming from nowhere. This has been 6 months in the making. All right. So just keep that in mind. The very super subtle energetic dynamics that are occurring within your chakra systems are releasing seals, opening gates, opening new thoughts and feelings within yourself that have to integrate with pre-existing thoughts, pre-existing behaviors, pre-existing energy. You're having to cut cords with people for this reason who don't really gel with who you are. And now, as we're stepping into sovereignty, are you still talking to people? Are you still in relation with people who don't respect you? Because that's an energetic exchange. And just because someone smiles in your face and they're just basically overall fake and they say nice things to you, the energy of how they truly feel is what's really going to connect with you. And despite all the fake stuff you might tell each other, or whether you genuinely or like that person or not, you may be showing that person love. Even if someone in their face is being nice, the energy within them could be projecting hate, and you're having that energetic exchange. Okay, it really makes it. This is a Pluto retrograde that's going to unravel all this, so that by the time it goes direct again, we're ready to move more forward. Love you too, Rosemary. We're ready to move more forward into the depths of this darkness and into the depths of this war. For a lot of you who've been feeling restless, a lot of you fire signs have been feeling restless, okay? A lot of you fire signs and water signs too, you've been feeling like smacking a, oh, I'm gonna curse so bad. You've been feeling like smacking a mofo upside the head. Your spirit has been super restless. You can have fire rising or moon because you feel the battle being fought. And a lot of you fire signs feel like the gates are about to open and you're ready about to use your power. How many of you feel more than ever you're ready to harness power you've never harnessed before? Okay, this is it. This is it. Like, fire signs, this is totally it. Like, you guys are going to be using it first, and then water signs kind of have already been doing it, but let me put this in practicality. You water signs that have been doing spells just liberally and shamelessly, don't let these water signs fool you. Okay, an air sign, like I'll get mad and I'll do like some kind of fake hex or fake curse, but then later I'll be like, nah, I don't need to get angry about that. I'm gonna let it go. These water signs will hex your ass. Okay, these water signs will curse you quick, fast. And these fire signs, by the time they cool down, they've already wished all sorts of evil on you. Like once you piss off a water sign, it's like, oh, it's all good. I'm about to do some brujeria on you. And that's it. Well, it's a Pluto retrograde like this that's going to actually supercharge spells, supercharge intent. You are going to hex someone. You are going to see immediate results. Is that the road you want to go down? Stuff like that. You have to really be careful about how you control your emotions, and you have to be very mindful of who you are when you lose your mind. Be very mindful of this. A lot of our egos, a lot of our minds, a lot of our consciousness, we like to hold ourselves in check. But some of you, and I'm guilty of this myself, some of you, especially if you have a lot of Saturn contacts, you might have held yourself in control so much, you lost that raw sense of yourself. Some of you, you're afraid of your inner fire because you feel like it'll burn down everything around you. And you're going to be faced with instances where you really do have to let it out finally. You really do have to trust in yourself and let go of that control and surrender it all. This resurrection of the initiated is going to trigger over the next 6 months facets of your personality that some of you never even knew existed. If you're born after 1985, guess what? You had a sleeper cell within you the whole time. You had a sleeper cell super agent slash Shinigami that was within you the whole time that took up until now for you to awaken. If you were born before 1985 or 1980, you tapped into this initially, but then before you can tap deeper into it, you know what I'm saying? You had to go back. You couldn't go fully in there. This is about to be revisited for you. You're about to go deeper in your psychological exploration in yourself, and any such subconscious thoughts or memories that you had to suppress or that you had to forget, they're all going to come up back so that you can fully face yourself. They need to release that last arc of Bleach and stop playing. I'm trying to see that animated. The 1,000-Year Blood War, oh my God. Shout out to the Quincy's in the building. But yes, my friends, some of you are gifted with the magic of sight. And Pluto going retrograde, when I say revenge of the Muggles, there's going to be a fake pseudo crackdown on quote unquote pseudoscientists. This is very important for you to understand the path you walk. Okay, make sure if you walk this path, the reason why we congregate and meet like this and have these powwows and transit talks is to remind each other there's not a lot of us. There's not a lot of us here. If we even look statistically, we don't necessarily have that much people who are even into this. There's still a lot of people and a huge percentage of people who believe in Christianity. I'm about to look that up. So, oh, this is 2012 though. So with just Christianity alone, we still have about like 30%, like 3.4 billion that might be rising or coming down. And so there's rhetoric in the spiritual community that, and even I wanted to believe it too, but there's this rhetoric that kind of makes people feel we'll reach a critical mass, and one day everyone's going to be awakened and everyone's going to be enlightened. And that's just not the truth. This is what I mean when I say we're in spiritual war. There's still a lot of people who are going to open up to this, but we have passed the filler arc. Like, there are a lot of people who, a lot of these people are not stupid. A lot of these people, sometimes that's why I don't like the term muggle. I really prefer the term initiated, because there's a lot of people who you think who aren't into this, and you think it's because it's something in them spiritually that doesn't get it, or they're just blind. And that's why I keep on saying, no, this is spiritual warfare. There are people who have chosen to fight on the dark side. There are agents, and you're letting your naivety make you believe that every single person is pure. Every single person has that capacity to walk up the spiral. But like I said, our true enemy are those principalities in high places, evil spirits, and you have people willingly give themselves over to these negative vibrational forces that transmute through our physical vessels. Okay, the spirit of evil, the spirit of darkness does not have a physical corporeal form. It has to transmute through the dark in people's hearts. It has to orchestrate events where someone's mother dies, or when someone loses their best friend. And in that state of depression, which is the frequency they vibrate, now they can be like, hey, you should do this dark thing. You shouldn't have been treated like that. Channel your anger like this. And you're channeling that energy, and bam, they possess you because you open your heart to do that. Versus if that person is surrounded by positivity and people encouraging them, that negative voice cannot get in their system. So in this new age of Aquarius, where we have more people alone than ever, we're going to have more suicides documented, and we're going to have more people possessed, which is creating a newer need for love to be expressed. Thankfully, no matter what religion you believe in, you can still practice love, okay? But the thing here is that you need to understand, those of you initiated in this path, many are called, few are chosen. And just like She's the Beast said, integrity will be my bestie. This is the language that you must speak, to where even if you mess up, just get up. Don't listen to people accusing you, talking about moments in your past where you lacked integrity. That doesn't matter if you keep getting up and you keep trying to be the best you can be, okay? Don't think that these people who believe in Islam or Christianity or science, who follow scientific principles, don't think that they're not smart enough to understand this. I have said this before. You can learn basic astrology in 2 weeks, okay? Someone can infiltrate this, know a little bit of the rhetoric, and try and see where you stand. How much do you really believe this? How much do you really know this? Do you walk this path because it's trendy, because you feel like you want this path as a way to identify yourself? Some people, they don't know how to identify themselves, and they've identified themselves as the spiritual community. They don't know if they're an angel, they don't know if they're a fairy, they don't know who they are. And you know, it's cool, but is this how you identify yourself, or is this your path? Are these the tools that you use? Uranus and Aries is trying to help you archetypalize and understand who you are. Dare to dream. Don't let yourself be limited. But the whole notion that somebody can see the light and choose not to go to it is foreign to so many people. Certain people are militant, and they're like, oh, we just need to force the light down people's throats. One day they'll be evolved. One day they'll be open. Well, first of all, you're not better than somebody just because you've been enlightened or just because you've been awakened. You have just been called to a certain path. And trust me when I say everything is so multidimensional that certain people have to walk the path they do at the time they do. Point being, you need to be more aware of who you're around, and certain people, no matter what you say, will never be initiated in this path. So when I say that there is a little bit of us, there's not a lot of us, okay? Pluto going into Aquarius is going to open the next collective wave and revival. What's going to happen when Pluto is in Aquarius? Okay, so we are going to hit, like, everyone who's born before 1985, everyone who's born before the year 2000, you need to understand your spiritual path is for these younger millennial kids, okay? Because the next wave, the next spiritual revival is going to happen with these younger children. 2026, 2025, 2026 is going to come around. Pluto's going to be in Aquarius. And what's going to happen? Everyone who was born after 2000 and after 1995, they're going to be in their 20s. All right. They're going to be approaching their Saturn returns, and they're going to be developing this next wave of spirituality. They're going to be channeling in vibrations higher than we can. And everything we're doing right now is to not only pave the way for them, but to hold support and provide the necessary wisdom. So really keep this in mind, because a lot of people you're dealing with are not only uninitiated, they were never meant to be on this path. A lot of you who are on this path, it's going to be these kids born after 2000 that you're going to be in majority understanding this. A lot of people before that, they may not even really be meant to. Just keep that in mind. Like, they were just meant to give birth to some of these people. And also, it's not that they're entirely useless either. They still contribute in whether opposing, challenging, or beneficial thought, forms, structures, or whatever. Like I said, you're not necessarily better than someone because you're awakened on this path as you're doing your part to make the world a better place. I'm telling you this like this first, because for those of you who are initiated, bear with me here. This is going to sound really loopy, and I hate to say the rhetoric that I'm saying, because when I speak language like this, it's easy for certain people to accuse me of raising a cult where I'm setting one group as better or more enlightened as the other. If you're real, you're real. But don't be offended or surprised when increasingly more people start to either attack, confront, or challenge you for the beliefs that you have. Once again, a lot of people embracing this spirituality, a lot of people embracing this path, it's feel good for them, it's trendy, and it's just some positive caffeine. They are not really about this life. When difficulty hits, when struggle hits, they don't apply spiritual principles. They revert back to their dark ways, and they do things that got them in the negative spiral in the first place. So people like this are going to be confronting you who really walks this path, and it's your integrity during this Capricorn with Saturn and Pluto retrograde that's going to not only help you stand your ground, but remind others what it really looks like to walk this path, so that when somebody in public is embarrassing you and trying to threaten your peace of mind and your space, and you make the decision to handle the situation with peace and love, You're not doing it because you're weak. You're not doing it because you don't want to. You might feel like punching that person in the face, but because you exercise this spiritual maturity to be mindful of how vibrations work and how you want to do that, then really be mindful you're going to be living this path. And this period is going to differentiate and divide those who really walk this path and those who are really just doing it because it's in. Right now, it's in to be healthy. Right now, it's in to be conscious. It's popular to be socially conscious. You have a lot of people getting views and getting popular for standing up for people in society. You have to remember, it's popular. This is why people are getting into it. Compassion, starting to take care of yourself, it's trendy. It's not always going to be trendy. And a lot of people aren't always going to ride that wave. And some of you are going to have to really rep what it is you believe in, even if you're the only one doing it after people hop off this positivity wave. Okay? Hopefully, it's a trend that will continue in more positive and authentic ways, because this fakeness is kind of making me a little sick. I'm sorry, I'm just being a little rude. But yes, you know what I mean? Shout out to those of you who are genuinely wanting to learn. There's no cap to this. The purpose of my mission is to make sure this knowledge is accessible worldwide so that there are no more excuses. But just know moving forward, the struggle and the victories that you gain through walking this path are going to illustrate a lot more of how you integrate and use a lot of your power. All right. My life path number is 9. I think it is is it an 18-9 or is it a 27-9? All I know is that it is 9. It's not our place to really judge the fakeness, you know what I'm saying? And I'm really more feel where Damien's at, because being rude and being savage might be what we all need, you know, that shock therapy. Just be very mindful, okay? This is just the important thing to be here. Be open to respectful challenge. Any challenge against you that's disrespectful and trying to, you know what I'm saying, belittle you or make fun of you, you don't have to invest attention into that. But be open to challenge, be open to getting sharpened, be open to showing that what you represent is real, okay? And the good news about this is that you're going to really have practical application towards exercising your energy in psychic self-defense and psychic offense, okay? The bad news is everyone who's uninitiated, everyone who doesn't have that core, everyone who doesn't really have a strong spiritual core is going to be possessed a lot much more powerfully, and you're going to see a lot of these NPCs and agents. When I say revenge of the muggles, you're going to see a lot of agents in the Matrix really get at you. Okay, agents in the Matrix, keep in mind, if we think about the Matrix, there was that scene where a lady was, you know, walking outside with her baby, and she just instantly changed into a Matrix, an agent. There's certain people whose inner worlds and mental stability can turn at the whiff of a dime, and they can be uncharacteristic. Because let's keep it real, guys. If I went to the scientific community, okay, if I went to any public forum and I started talking about possession by entities and by spirits or impure energies, I'd get laughed at, I'd get ridiculed, I'd be told to get real. So this is how a lot of people do not understand how deep we're in this. This puts humanity at a conundrum. You have a small percentage of people who see these energies within people, who see these energies regardless, but they have no one they can tell it to because no one can understand them, or it's rare for them to. Because no one acknowledges the existence of these beings who are very real, okay, we don't have research and development into this. We don't have case studies. We don't have anything that could help quantify in some way an understanding of this. So we don't know how to differentiate who's really seeing energies versus who's just being crazy. And I have to put that in quotes. These are new frontiers and these are new fields that this younger generation is going to start to speak up about. Even though we've had people in older generations talk about it, but the information was suppressed, books were burned, stories were twisted, or they were just outright unacknowledged. Like an Aquarius who's been an ascended master since the 60s, but they feel like they couldn't really be themselves because the rest of humanity was literally just in a lower vibration. This is where I ask you to really decide more than ever, how much do you believe in these spirits? Do you just believe them in the sense where, because I'm not saying that you should abandon all responsibility. The whole notion of you being a sentient human vessel is that you have physical transmutation ability to work with these energies. So it doesn't pay to really be afraid of being possessed. You're the one in power here. I just want to make you aware, because what's dangerous is walking around like they don't exist, okay? You want to be aware to the sense where you know you're talking to somebody and you know how much of who you're talking to is them and how much of who you're talking to is an uncharacteristic energy. And for those of you who want to know how, just listen to people. You don't even need super psychic powers. You just need to listen and be receptive, because it's your soul that'll let you know when something's off. But this isn't the time to run away from that. You're now in a position where you have to confront that. You have to bring the light and deal with these darker parts within people and have those moments where it's like, did I just exercise someone's soul with the lightning bolt, right? With some Reiki? And no one can teach you this but experience itself. So just be prepared as you combat more with negative entities, with intrusive telepathic thoughts, that this battlefront is going to evolve to the next level. Word to Scorpio, having Jupiter. All right. Damian Diaz just said, being a Pisces in LA is living in Men in Black, the movie. And a lot of people don't know this. All right. So, a lot of people don't know Pisces and Aquarius live that secret life. They peep stuff like they know. And you can hear that. And you can hear a Pisces say they saw a glitch in the matrix. And you could just look at them like they said something abstract when they're not being abstract. They're being real. You really need to listen to these energies a lot more, because this is what's coming through. We have the South Node in Pisces, Aquarius, and some of you're letting it just go over your head because it's not conventional, because it's not, you know what I'm saying? Hollywood is a very Neptunian place because it's not traditional. And that type of rhetoric is also deceptive. But I can't go too into this because I don't want to lose too much of you. What I want to at least illustrate with this Pluto retrograde is just be very mindful that during this 6-month period, elements of your unconscious energy that you did not know exist because it's unconscious to you and it only activates when you're unconscious, are going to start to make themselves known. This is the resurrection of the initiated. Some of you have already started to mesh with this, and it's been a weird experience. Now it's going to start coming out, and it's an unseen vibration. What you're aware of right now is you're conscious. You're experiencing the world through your sun, and you're processing the world with your Mercury. and you're filtering out the emotional experience with your moon. But Pluto is that unconscious entity. It's the part of yourself that you didn't know how to feel because you didn't know it was there. Unless you're a Scorpio or unless you have Pluto on your moon and sun, then you were born with this awareness and you see it with other people, but you shut up and you don't tell anyone because you know what it's like to really be called a freak for speaking on things that people thought were secret. Okay, like a sun Pluto or a moon Pluto, they were born knowing this. Okay, anyone who's inherently Scorpionic or Piscean, you know what I mean, you sense this in a different way. Okay, now remember, the whole notion between ascension is about taking your body and becoming light, vibrating at a speed to where you can take your sentient physical being, vibrate within the elements from earth to air to water and to fire, and become a being of light and ascend out this matrix. So when you think of aliens, I don't want you to think of physical plasma beings that look like grays. I don't want you to think of actual physical beings. Are there real aliens? I'm sure there are. I've never visited every place in the solar system. But when you think of aliens, and when I say Aquarius is an alien, when you think of aliens, don't listen to the propaganda. Don't listen to the disinformation. That's all a lie. A lot of what you see in these programs are to make sure you don't properly recognize the unseen forces that you experience daily. Aliens are higher energetic frequencies. An alien really is someone from a foreign land, just like we call people who are from different countries aliens, something different. What we call aliens or extraterrestrials are really higher vibrational frequencies that can travel through frequencies. This is why Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, think in frequencies and vibrations. Frequencies can travel and you can tune in and connect with alien kind. Think of the fourth kind. Think of the fourth kind. They had to tune in to that frequency. That alien possessed that person. This is how aliens do. This is why aliens and demons are more similar than you think. They try and make demons and evil spirits look all ghouly and aliens look all weird. No, it's just the difference in vibrations. Demonic energy and entities are going to be on a lower negative frequency. Alien frequencies are going to be usually higher, but alien frequencies can tune into a weak human mind and control that mind through thoughts. Lower negative frequencies are going to control people or manipulate people through their dark feelings. Okay? So keep that in mind. It's nothing for a higher vibrational entity that has especially ascended. All right. Shout out to Awakened Angel. I was a synchronicity right there. Ascended masters and your higher selves do the same thing when they show you synchronicities. They lower their frequency. They can't lower themselves too much, but they lower their frequency and they project thoughts and they project archetypes and symbols so that you subconsciously can derive meaning from it. Okay? Brienne said something important. Scientists just give up when trying to conceptualize anything not in the 3D. This is why science is ultimately limited. This is also why the field of quantum science is exploring new frontiers as we start to discover multidimensionality and as we start to look at uncertainty principles that in a closed space can provide infinite numbers of possibilities. These are people who are starting to use their brain. But outside of that, and we're not even needing to know that, you have to understand there's a whole world. There is a whole spiritual world and realm that is specifically invisible, unseen, intuitive, and intelligent. to the point where as you're about to conceptualize it, it's Piscean in nature. Pisces sees this realm because they are this realm. It exists through the imagination. As soon as your logical mind tries to quantify it, the energy can morph and change. This is the infinite intuitive intelligence that Pisces sponsors. That's why every Pisces can naturally just think on that level. Whereas someone who's too caught up in science or too caught up in the literal can lose it. Science is definitely a necessary tool, but science has always and will and should always be supplementary to magic. If you're trying to be scientific and place spirituality and magic under the umbrella of science, you're not only limiting yourself, but you're living a false reality. And there are a lot of people who live false realities under the evidence of technology. It's not that science isn't working, which is what makes it deceptive, which is what is very controlling about Earth, to where you build structures to inevitably cage people. This is why the element of fire burns Earth, and freedom, right? So that you can be free from these structures. But ultimately, you want to have a balance of all four elements. Please just keep in mind this unseen part of yourself, this unexplainable part of yourself, this irrational part of yourself is resurrecting. The part of yourself that doesn't care what the law is, the part of yourself that doesn't care about following or breaking the law, it's just going to express itself. The part of yourself that since you were born has been systematically suppressed. It can't be suppressed anymore. This is the same energy that was happening hundreds of years ago, in the 1700s, when Americans and people all over the world did not want that part to be suppressed, which led to the greatest revolution of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm letting you know again, the greatest revolution of all time is occurring, and we're not going to have the protection of a world government. And at some point in the 2020s and 2030s, it's going to be you and everyone against the world. This is why I say Divine RPG and the Guild Wars, because you're just going to have collectives forming. It's only going to be you and your tribe fighting against other people, or simultaneously working for peace until any government can get established. Okay? So really keep that in mind. And when I say that people are on the dark side and you can't give the benefit of the doubt to people, not everyone thinks for themselves, and group thought and stuff that gets in certain minds are very much orchestrated. So when you see a renowned scientist like, you know, Bill Nye the Science Guy, or Neil Tyson deGrasse speaking of incorrect biases, really determining through cold reading the ineffectiveness of astrology, or, you know what I'm saying, you have Bill Nye saying erroneous thoughts about how astrology started with, you know what I'm saying, Ptolemy, and how it's based off the constellations. That's not true. All right. So just a system, and how astrologers aren't worth being paid for. That's not just people being sincere. That is an attack against authentic astrologers. If you even saw that video, the whole point of it was just to take money away from astrologers and to make people not pay because they don't know. But that whole argument was wrong, because as you and I know, astrology is real and real astrologers exist. So someone watching that could just think it's an innocent debate. It's someone postulizing ideas, but someone whose eyes are open knows, no, this is propaganda. This is using resources to blind people and to keep people at a certain level. So when you hear about the 13th zodiac sign and people saying a new scientific discovery has been made and how this changes, this is just meant to provide disinformation, especially when you think they've been making articles about this new scientific discovery for years. Even back in the 90s, you had articles surface of there's been a new scientific discovery. What does that mean? It's agents infiltrating the community to get people confused, to get people doubting. This happens in every industry. It happened to hip hop. And it took an industry and a field like hip hop that started off originally as a socio-political economic means to give voice to a group of people and a culture that was not really being spoken for and represented until agents came through. And now people don't even know where hip hop started. People don't even know what hip hop is. No, if you ask the average person to name to you the elements of hip hop, they probably can't, just like Daniel said in the peace talk. And people think rap and hip hop is all about misogyny and, you know, degrading women and being violent, when hip hop never was about that. And this is how, in the span of a short few decades, you can take something that started off meaningful and corrupt it to the point where no one even knows what it is. Something like this can happen with this path, where people try and crack down on this, because let me tell you how it's going to go down. They're going to look for the craziest practitioners. They're going to take everyone that we hold highly into this community, and they're going to be like, oh, this person isn't shit because they do this. This person is a scam or a sham because they did this. This person is a sham. And all that is meant to do is to just sow division within the community, to where you lose that strength and to where people don't take seriously what you do. But listen, what they don't know is that's not going to work for those of you who really walk this path. For those of you who really walk this path, you're not doing this to be popular. You're not doing this because you have something to prove. You're doing this because you change lives with what you do, because you're providing light work and assistance to what you do with people, and because this is a real warfare. They do this in every industry. Think about all the leaders who actually helped move things forward just within the Black community. Or think about legends in certain facets. Think about how periodically they take these legends and tarnish their legacy by bringing up miscellaneous, irrelevant past things or outright lies and allegations, so that they can tarnish the legacy of these people and so that they can have you respect less the hard work they busted their ass for just to build. Unfortunately, you can never take that from them. And the dark forces can never take that from you. Those people who actually live this path truthfully and really, you need to understand, they can never take that from you. And this is really what's going to allow you to embrace this very powerfully. And no, Jam Master Jay and, you know, the likes of the Roxanne crew, amongst others, created hip hop. It didn't come. It was influenced from the blues, but yeah, it really, once again, the whole consciousness of this, the way, the direction it turned in, came out of the need to give a voice to a culture of people who were being oppressed in the worst way and had no voice to speak out about it. And now, of course, it's getting twisted, which it's inevitable. That's just the nature of the beast and the nature of the system. But let me tell you guys one more time. You know what I'm saying? Cool Herc. There we go. Cool Herc. Let me tell you guys one more time. For Cool G Rap, definitely. For those of you who rock him, you know, for those KRS1, not KRS Astrology, but KRS1. So for those of you who really embrace this spiritual war, for you fire signs who've been feeling the need to finally fight for what you believe in, the fight is here. This is a vibrational warfare. And the front was specifically psychological, okay? The before, the warfare was psychological, so that you can be in a position to make the wrong decision yourself. if we can attack your feelings, if a regimented societal structure can influence and program the way you think, eat, and sleep, we don't have to directly confront you. We can basically just manipulate you through peer pressure, societal norms, and economically, to where if you aren't a certain place, you're not going to be as accepted in society. You're not going to gain certain privileges that other people in society do. And what has this done? This has weeded away the fake from the real. Those who only live this life to live comfortably and to social climb, and those who live this life to be themselves. All right. This was the first front of this spiritual war. And I say for the new collective, because our ancestors fought different spiritual wars, but just keep this in mind. Now that Saturn's in Capricorn, the main front of the war, now that the psychological warfare will continue, some of you have decided that despite this psychological manipulation, I'm still going to stay true. You are the next target. Now they realized they can't peer pressure you into being fake. They can't peer pressure you into being inauthentic. They can't coerce you. They can't try and threaten your income to make you change and be a certain way. And now they're going to come at you directly. All right. The good news is that this resurrection of you initiated individuals is going to activate from Taurus season to Cancer season power and abilities within you that you can train for the rest of this Saturn and Capricorn transit. The bad news is you're going to have to use it directly at people who come directly at you. And this is going to take a lot of you by surprise. I think a lot of you may not have realized how forward and rude some people can be. This is why I'm saying don't fight this warfare with flowers. Some of you are going to have to stand up for yourselves like never before. Now that the dark forces have realized you're too real to be manipulated, they're going to go at you directly. They're going to try you in ways that will directly coerce you to stop. And this is the period where you get to show the world who you are. Billion Forever said that ain't bad news. Absolutely. I don't see that as bad news at all. I think that's also good news as well. But the psychic attack is going to be at the point where you can no longer question, is this psychic attack or not? You just have to clap back, and you just have to be in a position where you very powerfully, you know what I'm saying, regulate your own space. Okay. So once again, keep this in mind. I don't want to set this up to where it's like, it's black and white and people, the rest of the world are getting manipulated by quantum space lords. I like to go left field like that so that I engage your imagination. Thankfully, good things are happening in the world. There are advancements in this world that are allowing people to understand each other like never before. There are very genius developments and innovations that are coming into form and also happening. And you're definitely in very powerful positions to also reap on positive connections with spirit guides. But I just want to let you know that this is still a spiritual war. And if you're going to play a blind eye to anything that they're doing, it'll hurt you more than help you. Okay. The tactics that were used before really had a lot to do with, once again, psychologically having you question your belief in yourself. Now they're going to bring a lot more gaslighting tactics, because you have to remember, this is why I'm speaking as adamantly as I am. All the dark side has, all the dark forces have are illusions, lies, and mild numbers. That's it. All the dark forces have are illusions and lies. All they're going to be able to do is make things seem a certain way, but if you shine your light, you'll dispel the illusion. So a lot of the tactics that'll be used will have a lot to do with testing how much integrity you have in your path when you're dealing with people who don't have integrity, who try and influence you to do something, or when you're dealing with a lot of people who want to make fun of you for what you believe. Because let me just be real, like, to believe in fairies, to believe in angels, to believe in spirits, there's a lot of people who believe in angels for all sorts of reasons, okay? But to really believe in these unseen, non-corporeal energies, it's not popular. It's not like the most popular thing, if that makes sense. There's a subculture in it. There's a lot of people who believe in fantasy and myth, but they don't really connect with it, if you get what I mean. So this is where those of you who really live that life, it is your actions that will show those who are in the dark how to walk the path of life, and it will completely call out those in the dark side. Because now the direct tactics they'll be using as well, now that Saturn is in Capricorn, will be to tell you to do things, okay? You're going to have to deal with bullshit ultimatums of the highest degree, where the type of which kind of set me off on my path, where, well, if you still believe in this, or if you still do this path, then I'm going to cut these resources off from you, or I'm going to get 100,000 people to believe that you're weird and crazy. And such is going to backfire on you, because you're not a fake ass and you're really about it. And you're going to let those people know, I'm not afraid of you. And I'm not afraid of your false numbers of people who don't even know who they are. Let me remind you of something, beloved. One person who truly knows who they are is more powerful than 100,000 people who don't know themselves. It's more powerful than 100,000 people who need to follow someone to make decisions. You who are at the core tapped into who you are and can make independent decisions do not have to be intimidated by the likes of those who need to lie their way to success, who need to embellish the truth, who need to create illusions to get what they want. Those of you who know yourself and can get around by being real, all right, is more powerful than an entire city. This is why one person who believes in themselves can lead thousands on that journey. So this Pluto retrograde is going to prepare, because once it goes direct 6 months from now, then you're going to be directly bringing the full worth of how you built your character into the world again, and directly deal with strategy and system changing decisions that you'll be a part of, and movements that will show where you stand in the masses of people who swear they're real, but they're just fake. And trust me, my friends, there is a huge genjutsu that is over the world. For anyone who's been real in your life, for anyone who has definitely showed you the light, thank God for them. Thank Goddess for them. There is a genjutsu, there's an illusion that has taken over the whole world. And there's a lot of people who don't even know that they're brainwashed. And a lot of these people are intelligent as hell. It's not just people who lack intelligence that are caught up in this. You have people with PhDs. You have people who can tell you every president that was here, every state, every city. They can break down higher conceptual arguments in palatable ways for you to understand, and they're still deluded because they refuse to believe in themselves. And they're still looking outside of themselves for answers, and they still let programs dictate subconsciously what they do. Madara already did infinite Tsukuyomi. So trust me when I say, when Pluto goes retrograde, we have these Walking Dead talks, because there's a lot of people who are zombies still, waiting for the next trend. Yes, I'm doing super chat. Thank you. Waiting for the next trend, waiting for the next album to drop, waiting for the next wave, instead of creating their own waves, not living their lives. just living a life that they're told to live, not making their own decisions. They're not animated. They're literally just lifeless. They're alive, their heart is beating, their brains function. Some of them, their brains don't function as much, but they're lifeless. They don't live for anything. They live life on autopilot. Okay, some of you are going to have to deal with this like more than ever. And it is your job and mission to be that light so that other people who are looking for that light can wade through the zombies and connect with you. And as you develop your personality, let me describe what the purpose of this Pluto retrograde resurrecting the initiated is. For those of you who have Pluto and Scorpio especially, you're going to experience this the most. Pluto in Scorpio is evolving, Jupiter in Scorpio is evolving your Pluto, and it's awakening the reincarnated gods and goddesses within you. It's awakening this depth of power and strength within you. However, your vessels, your human vessels, may not be able to handle the mind state and the behavior needed to properly take this. What do I mean? Some of you over this past 3 months have awakened so much subconscious energy, you have more mental anxiety because you think at a faster level than you did. You feel deeper, intense feelings than you did. And now your body is coping with this by drug abuse, by insomnia, by having panic attacks, by being way more horny than you've ever been because you're channeling a lot more sexual energy than you've ever done. From this period until Virgo season, your body will have gone through the natural upgrade. Your physical vessel is finite and still needs time and experience to grow. So by Libra season, once Pluto is direct, your body is finally going to be at a level to where your spirit can now connect with your body. All right. Until then, this is why I'm just saying, embrace the crazy. We're in Aries season and Taurus season. No one's telling you to be perfect. You don't need to analyze shit. We have no Virgo. Stop trying to make sense out of these things. Really just allow yourself to imagine a flying spaghetti monster talking to you and have a conversation with it. The initiated versus the uninitiated are the people who are just going to have a 2-hour-long conversation with the fairy they don't see because their heart's activating versus the person that's like, well, fairies don't exist. This is weird. I don't know why I'm feeling it. You don't have to analyze. You don't have to be right. You just have to be real. You just have to be you. You just have to open your heart, and it's not going to make sense. I'm using these extreme answers, examples like spaghetti monster, because if you're trying to give a real model of this, you're going to go crazy because the whole purpose of this is to completely disassociate from this. Cool. So yeah, really keep this in mind. Over the next 6 months, you're going to be integrating and experiencing more of your power because you're going to be thinking in new ways. You're going to be developing new behaviors and habits, and your capacity of feeling and your capacity of acting is going to evolve so that by the time Pluto goes direct, you can fully embrace this change. With that being said, let us now hop into the Peace Mobile. All right, now. So as you can see, Pluto is retrograde. And not only is Pluto retrograde, but Pluto is retrograde on Mars right now. If we go back to the Mars video, you'll remember that I did mention at some capacity and level that once Mars finishes its initiation from Saturn and hits Pluto, you're going to step into the harnessing of the supernatural power. The gateways through Saturn back around the 4th was you really allowing yourself to be tested between this 3-week period of how you express your intent. For those of you who lack integrity, now that it's on Pluto, you're going to be judged for those actions. For those of you who have integrity and have done what you're supposed to, congratulations. Moving forward, you're now in a position to where you're going to be harnessing a lot of this power. Now that we're in Taurus season, okay, we want to wait till next month as this goes into Gemini. And now in the 6 months of energy that you have worked really hard to evolve your supernatural awareness, you're going to have context for it as you break out of the spiritual world through the Gemini portal and experience this through new thoughts, new ways to communicate what you're experiencing, new experiences, amongst other things. Pluto retrograding through Taurus, Gemini, and now Cancer is going to facilitate the supernatural evolution and work with those who have initiated during this time to ground all this spiritual experience fundamentally in your mind and in your feelings, so that by June, guys, you're going to be able to fully understand the unconscious behavior that has probably confused a lot of you, unless you're a water sign and you already are aware of all this. Okay? Keep in mind, during this 6-month period, you will be in a position to also initiate. For any who are uninitiated, Pluto retrograde is going to initiate a lot of you, some into new crafts if you're already initiated. Moving forward, that opposition that we're going to have, which I think is very relevant to speak on, very much so, on the 12th. Oh my God, guys, we're having a new moon opposite Pluto. Mark that on your motherfucking calendars, because that's just going to be wow. This is the midpoint of this, to where you're going to break through a new way to feel your energy. And this is going to end certain feelings and birth a new soul expression. It's going to kill some of y'all too. As we finish this eclipse and do the last one here in Leo, and then move to Virgo, October is where we'll see this go direct. From Cancer season to Libra season, as Jupiter goes direct and as Saturn goes direct, we're ready to move forward. This 6-month period has integrated our evolution, right, with our physical capacity to ground this shit. That being said, as we step from Cancer season to Libra season, this is where you're going to see the 6 months of supernatural evolution apply directly in your relationships with other people. Apply directly out of your mind and heart in what you physically do in your outer world. So that once we pass October and we're ready to move forward, and it's time for Jupiter to go into Sagittarius, and it's time for Saturn to go to the second decan, we're ready to now take this supernatural evolution and take it to the next level, to where we're now interacting more with our world, with what we have, as the stakes are raised considerably higher, and as we now have to really pay attention and be careful of every action we take. So I hope I've painted that picture well, because things are about to get so much more intense. Hopefully I've helped illustrate how that with this retrograde for Pluto, Pluto is retrograding so that Jupiter can catch up and Saturn can catch up. This is taking the consciousness of everyone collectively, and it's fine-tuning it with these downloads that the South Node in Aquarius is given. And individually, what this is doing is it's preparing your body to receive much more intense vibrations from the spiritual realm, from the cosmic higher realms, and also to do more with your power, because you're going to be learning new behaviors over the next 6 months. By the time we get into next year, you're ready to move forward on a higher scale that's not just you and integrated with other people. I said this in a very eloquent way, but it's a lot of BS and it's a lot of pure fuckery if you're not grounded within yourself, because the drama can make you lose yourself and you could really just get caught up in the opinions of other people who may even be psychic but disagree fundamentally with how you see and who you are. Someone asked in the peace talk before, how do you deal with skeptics? And how do you deal with people who call you crazy and weird? First of all, if you are a mutable sign, especially a Pisces, then the last thing that you should care about is if people understand you or not. Mutable signs are the most misunderstood zodiac signs because we're talking about a state of mutability that simultaneously encompasses something that is and something that's not. So it is impossible to truly understand the perception of a mutable sign in the sense where it is constantly and forever changing. That being said, just like Malika said, and this is what I do, you need to get extra crazy. And for those of you dealing with skeptics, you're going to deal more with skeptics. This is another reason why I said be very careful about being naive and thinking that everyone's supposed to walk this path. I was like that. I felt that you can reason with people, and if they see the light, they'll know better. Okay? There's a fundamental belief where people believe if people knew better, they would do better. And that's true to an extent, but you also have to respect the choice and the possibility for other people to choose to continue doing what they believe. In this subjective sense, it's not really up to anyone to say it's right or wrong. And you need to remember that certain people who are calling you crazy, certain people who are calling you skeptical for speaking your truth and for believing what you're believing, they're not telling you that with any intention of changing their mind. So you don't have to take that seriously. There's certain people who believe different things that I believe in. There's certain people who see the world fundamentally different in ways that I don't see it, and I don't agree with it. Do I think they're crazy? Do I think they're delusional? Sometimes I can think that what they do is crazy and delusional, but that's just my subjective approach. Whether they're right or wrong about what they believe doesn't matter, because what they're doing with their current beliefs are going to put them in touch with a certain type of people that they wouldn't have been able to do at that point in their destiny path if they didn't believe what they believed. So you yourself, especially as some of you who have mutable sign energy, you can tap in to frequencies. You can feel and hear and listen to people's innermost thoughts behind the ego masks that they put. And you can get projections from people by the way they look, even though they say a certain thing, versus people directly saying that they think you're crazy, that they think you're delusional. You can have skeptics offer challenges, but I'm going to let you know, most skeptics are not concerned with understanding where you're coming from, so you don't have to entertain them. And this is honestly the biggest part of your spiritual test. You have a connection with Source that other people may not have established. So Spirit is like, are you going to believe in me because other people believe in me? Or are you going to believe in me even when no one else believes in me? Because all those other people were not and are not and will not be there for you in certain parts of your life that you need them. But Spirit will always be there for you, which is why your personal spirituality and the relationship that you have with the divine has to be the most intimate relationship ever. This is why the 4th house and the 8th house and the 12th house have to deal with spirituality. The most intimate relationship And the most personal relationship that you should ever have should be with this divine energy, whether you call it God, whether you call it goddess, whether you call it your higher self. This is the essence that you tap through through yourself, that you connect, all right, or through other people as well. But you can never let the negative criticism of skeptical people stop you from doing what you're doing. Because honestly, all that it is just background white noise. All that it is are flies that buzz around and you just have to swat them away. They're being used by the dark forces to divert your attention away. If you notice the timing of when such stuff happens, don't be so focused on what's happening. Notice the timing of when certain skepticism comes in, of when you're challenged like so. It's usually done in a way to frustrate and to divide the opinion in a room. It's never you, and these are certain tactics that'll be done. If you look at this with the mindset of a spiritual warrior, then you'll know what conversations to entertain and what not to where you can be so aligned that you're vibing with people's hearts and emotions. And so you would know what they're going to be on before they do it. Something that fire signs and water signs already do masterfully. And that being said, really keep that in mind moving forward. Once again, as you're in this spiritual warfare, you're not going to escape the negativity that other people are going to project at you, but you can choose to remain strong despite that. Know every time you don't let it get to you, you grow stronger, you gain experience points, and just remember, those people are coming from a place of fear. They're coming from a place of inadequacy, and at a subconscious vibrational level, they're afraid and they're wanting to bring you down to their level. Before their mind and their egos put them in denial and make them feel that it's for some conscious reason, it's actually their vibrational energy being influenced by dark forces, because they don't even believe it. So they're the most open channels. A lot of skeptics, a lot of people who don't believe in this stuff, they're the easiest to get possessed, because anyone who's awakened, anyone who's initiated, anyone who believes in all this stuff, it's not that you don't get possessed. Whenever something's about to possess you, you're so in tune with yourself, you know, this isn't my thoughts. No, this isn't the right way to think. And you start to burn sage and you start to meditate, okay? Other people, they pop prescription pills. They try and seek help. They escape through psychedelics and open the portal more to get influenced by an energy that they refuse to acknowledge. This is where, if you're initiated, you know the real warfare isn't other people, but those spirits using those people. So really keep this in mind. This is deep. This goes really deep. You have to stop letting these dark forces have you hate the puppets that they're using. Because these dark forces want you to project your anger and hate at other human beings, and then they can just possess someone else and then just continue it, versus showing that human being love and confronting the true issue. They don't want you to show them love. They don't want, you don't have to turn the other cheek, because I am very much so a savage. If someone wants that smoke and you catch me at the wrong day, you might get it. But I'm just saying, they don't want you to take the higher road and respond and react with positivity and with peace, to where you don't allow any BS, but you don't let your vibration get deterred. You don't let your gentleness and the fruits of the spirit that you're nurturing get completely toppled over. Don't think that they're just coming after me. They're FBI agents, all right, and fake FBI that are coming. Don't think that they're just coming for me. Don't think that I'm the only one getting attacked. They're coming for anyone who is authentically walking their truth and living their light. Not even to just snuff them out, just to see where they stand. Yeah, I see you're walking independently, but the dangerous thing about you walking independently is we can't manipulate you. So decide now, are you going to follow our agenda, or are you going to walk independently, so we know whether to squash you and fight against you, or whether we can help you? And that's where people are at. And certain people are so blind, they don't even know they're giving into certain programs, okay? Christianity takes a very orthodox approach to this. So when you see very radical Christians saying that all these and not just Christians, people in Islam do it, people in certain other countries do it. When you see countries like China taking a very critical and very conservative view against witchcraft, against football, against TV, it's because those portals and those channels invite negative energies. It's not because they're cuckoo and they don't know what they're talking about. The orthodox approach is one of division, and it doesn't allow harmony to understand those in those crafts, plus those others crafts. But there is a little bit of truth in that. This is why those people who are stuck watching a lot of TV, their whole world is in this virtual world and they're not real, right? Versus people who are plugged out. There's nothing wrong with watching TV. This is your diet, by the way. If you want to spend 50 hours a week watching TV versus like one, that's your decision. Not every television program is crap, thankfully. But just know, if they're going to rope you in, they're not going to rope you in with that crappy television show. If the dark forces want to rope you in, they're not going to rope you in with food that tastes like crap. All of you in the live chat, if I made you a pie, if I made you a pie that just smelled like shit, and you smell and it's like, ugh, and I'm like, here, you want my pie? And you look at it and there are flies on it and it's not even made right, are you going to eat that pie? You're not going to eat that pie. You're going to be like, get that away from me. If I try to have you listen to my song and be like, oh, listen to my song, and the song is it's whack, you know what I'm saying? There's no melody, there's no harmonization, you're not going to listen to it, all right? Like they say, Lucifer was the angel that brought the tunes, one of the covering angels, right? Let me not even bring Lucifer into this, okay? If I make a cake that tastes good, I won't even have to bring it to you. It smells so good, the aroma wafted from around the room and went in your nose. Ooh! Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? If I make music so seductive, I don't have to ask you to listen to it. You're going to start dancing once you hear it. And these are how the dark forces work. Angels are beautiful. Dark forces don't show up with horns on their head. Dark forces don't show up with threatening pitchforks ready to chase you. That's a lot of the reason why billions of dollars goes into advertising and implementing strategies is because how can we manipulate your subconscious to get you to buy our product? It's very unethical when you think about it. Psychologically, once you see a commercial 7 times, you're gonna want to get it to where you didn't care before, but now it's like, all right, this is all dark black magic happening right in front of your face. But because it's institutionalized, because it's corporatized, and because money is being spent, oh, it's just an ad. Oh, we don't have to worry about the subliminal messages being put in music videos. We don't have to worry about the subliminal messages being put in television programs and movies, so that we're not just going to outright push a message, but if we make it look good, if we charm it with Venus, if we make it smell good, if we make it seem all right, then we can push a little bit of messages and you won't even know. Before you know it, you think you came up with the idea. Spiritual warfare is real. And some of you are waking up to this, and just how you naturally are, you're pointing it out. And parts that have been programmed in other people, they're starting to express themselves through other people. And it's not them. They think it's them. It's not them. Until they go through experiences that enlighten them to the truth. And then they have to go through crises of how to identify themselves. So remember that, especially this Pluto retrograde. Okay? Dark forces do not show up looking evil. Everything that you're presented with has to charm its way. It has to go through Libra before you would give it. It has to be presentable. So just because you're chilling with people who know what you like, just because you know people who on the surface are cool, just because you're dealing with things that seem positive, this Pluto retrograde is gonna resurrect some of your deep ancient selves, and y'all are just gonna be like, I don't like you. Well, you guys are gonna start seeing people for who they really are. And that person could have been super positive. They could have been putting a mask on. They could have been nice. They probably had some long-term 2-year plan. Like, I'm just going to be cool with this person for like 6 months to 2 years. After I've gotten their trust, bam, I'm going to betray them. Or bam, I'm gonna finesse them. A Pluto retrograde like this is going to have you see through that. And it's gonna kick off. And you can't do this thing where it's like, do I trust my intuition or not? It's life or death if you trust it or not. Okay, so keep that in mind. And I'm gonna get to the cards now. For those who are wanting personal consultations, I still offer those. I recommend you go through Future Life, or if you go on my website, thepeacedealer.com, you can schedule and book a consultation with me for 30 minutes or an hour. All right. So for Aries, the card that I have for you for this Pluto retrograde is the Four of Pentacles. This is definitely going to be a period that will allow you to gain greater recognition in your community, and also to gain more material finances and stability, okay? And I'm definitely going to give homework. Great question. Before I do the super chat and after I draw the cards, I will give some simple homework just for this Pluto retrograde, okay? Taurus moon, Taurus rising. We have the Hangman, all right? The Hangman is saying, Taurus, you have to fully surrender. You're going to manifest everything that you want, and all your wishes come true. All you have to do is just completely surrender and just let everything happen. There's nothing more you have to do. Your personality is going to go through a transformation. So you just want to surrender, because the higher level that you're going to go to, you have to be brought to instead of initiate. Okay. Gemini moon, Gemini rising. We have the Strength card. So Gemini, see this as you tapping into your limitless potential. It'll be as if you took the NZT pill. For some of you, Gemini, I feel like this is going to be your partner. It's the card of Leo, but it's definitely speaking a lot of you dealing. Yeah, see, I even got the Two of Cups. So Gemini, this is going to be someone that is very passionate about you. And this Strength card individual is going to reawaken your fire and ignite more passion, because they're exceptionally passionate about you and they light that fire under your ass, okay? Cancer moon, Cancer rising. We have the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is going to bring you a very powerful and positive transition in your life that will facilitate and allow for a greater understanding of your experience thus far. Oh my God. And not just your experience thus far, but a lot of primarily how you've really been in a position to kind of distance yourself. You're sailing towards a new frontier, and this is a period where you're going to start getting more victories doing what you're doing, okay? Leo moon, Leo rising. We have the Death card. So you really can't escape this transformation. You, at the core of your being, you're completely transforming. You're going through a great metamorphosis with this North Node. And I feel the Death card is more of an awakening than a transformation. And this is going to have you end and put to rest certain things that might have been stuck on you, whether certain generational curses and or certain habits that just need to be gone. All right. Virgo moon, Virgo rising. We have the Six of Cups, the soulmate card. So you're going to be revisiting a part of your heart, and it's going to allow you to really bring back that nostalgia that you've had. Really bring back the expression of your heart that you've had that really helped you tap into much greater passion before the world just sucked it dry because everyone are a bunch of, because there's just, never mind, I'm not going to say that. But yeah, be very mindful. You could also connect with the soulmate from your past or somebody who will really help reignite that innocence and the connection that you tap into. All right, definitely a good card. Libra moon, Libra rising. We have the King of Swords. So this Pluto retrograde is going to have you deal with a very objective character. I get the sense that it's going to open up a very open but precise conjecture and also a state of mind. But it's coming with the Page of Cups. So this could be an Aquarius who just decides to catch feelings for you. And that's going to be a little weird because when Aquarius catches feelings, they turn all sorts of weird. But it's all good. It doesn't take away from the extraordinary character. But this is also saying that you want to be very objective and impartial moving forward. Okay, so keep that in mind. Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon. We have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is definitely speaking of you really being in a profound position to reap off a new investment, a new start, a new income stream. This could be a gift. This is definitely going to allow you to really start budding off of new income. And actually, Scorpio, this is going to be the beginning of you advancing your income potential. So you'll definitely start to make money with any new income streams that you're able to take advantage of. Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius rising. We have the Death card for you. The Death card is similar to Cancer, speaking of a release, an awakening. Sagittarius, what's going to happen to you is certain energy is going to completely release. I think some of you Sagittariuses, yeah, you had certain soul contracts with people to where since your energy is so huge, a parent or a soulmate had to incarnate with you to hold some of that energy so that once they die and pass on and you're of age, you can inherit the last part of that energy. And that's what's going to happen. A certain like habit, a person, whatever dies during this period, know that you're going to inherit that energy. And it's meant to complete and gain the greater part of your energy that you needed because it was too much. Your Sagittarius, your energy was too much to have as a baby. If you had it as a baby, you'd die. You'd literally go crazy. So like a parent or something had to take that until you reach a certain age. Some of you are already at that age and you have more Saturn returns. So it could just be, you know, a certain habit that you're not to. Capricorn moon, Capricorn rising. We have the Five of Wands. I don't like this card. I'll show you. The Five of Wands is not a bad card at all. The Five of Wands is actually speaking of a lot more recreational time because it could be a fun card. So it's urging you to kind of, play more pickup basketball games, be a little bit more active, but this is really urging you as well to deal with hassles and struggle in a very competitive way to where you're allowing yourself to stand out based on a lot of, what it is you're experiencing. Another thing, though, with this Five of Wands is that you don't necessarily want to take too seriously any drama. Make sure that above all, you stand up for what you believe in, even if you get opposed for it, Capricorn, because there's going to be a lot of arguments and bickering to a degree, and you're going to be clashing personalities and opposition. But no matter how much opposition you face, make sure that you still stand up for what it is you got, okay? And this is just going to really, of course, trigger a greater evolution. So Aquarius moon, Aquarius rising, we have the Lovers card, and the Lovers card is definitely speaking of great love, okay? But once again, this is really more of a choice here. You're going to have the choice to engage with certain people. Aquarius, I get the sense for you, this is not really with one person, okay? So, I mean, I'm a little Gemini hoe, so have fun. But yeah, I would really explore a lot of how the Lovers card has you embrace your sexuality through soulmate connections and just through putting love and creativity into whatever you do. Pisces moon, Pisces rising. Right, Miss Empress, I feel you. We have the Death card. So Pisces, Sagittarius, and Cancer. No, Leo. Pisces, Leo, and Sagittarius. I said Cancer last time. It was actually Leo. Pisces, Leo, and Sagittarius. You all have the Death card. Pisces, for you, what's dying is anything that has gotten in your way within you. Any obsessions, any addictions, any inhibitions, anything that you have allowed to hold you back is slowly going to die. And yes, Gemini hoes unite. Gemini hoes unite. Okay. And yeah, I love me a Gemini hoe. And I'm a Gemini hoe when I want to be. My Venus and Taurus lets me. But yes, other than that, that's what we got. Pisces, embrace this death. Pisces, you're going through ego death for like the whole collective. So good luck. But then again, you're you. So. And we have the Devil card. So for everyone, we're all going to have to really embrace this and be willing to surrender and sacrifice the limiting parts of our consciousness. Everyone is going to have that showdown with the devil personally, to where it's like, am I going to run your body? Are you going to strengthen your mind? Or are you going to let your emotions lose yourself? Okay. So other than that, now we're going to get into the homework and then the super chat. Remember, the tactics that these people are going to use is very similar to high school bullies. This is why I say it's ultimately meaningless. You're going to have grown men and women to also other children really illustrate, you know what I mean? The devil is like a boss battle, by the way. Really illustrate peer pressure and try and coerce you through name calling. Sure, it might not be name calling, like calling someone a dummy head or a loser, but it could be intellectualized bullying and name calling. Okay, you'll gain projections from this, and you'll also experience subtle dynamics going out where you see people play this stupid political game that's very similar to high school. You have to remember, a lot of people graduated high school but their mind never graduated from that mentality. And they find other people like themselves to band together to kind of just call you something and label you in a box. So especially with this devil card, that's where the pressure is going to come from. You don't have to take it seriously because it's like a fly. It's going to use an illusion to make it look like you're dealing with the might of a lot of people, like this is what everyone thinks. But in that group alone are a bunch of people who A, don't know themselves, and B, are wishy-washy. If in fact some of those people may believe what you believe, but they don't have your courage, they don't have your confidence, they want to fit in. So even though they believe what you believe, they might silently root for you because it's like, I wish I had your confidence. So trust me, things are not as they seem. And the negativity coming at you is intimidation because your light threatens them. Because the integrity you have and the stuff you do will inevitably expose them, even if that's not your intent. And that's what they're attacking. It's all indirect. It's all subtle psychological manipulation. It's all gaslighting. And it's a little bit of gang stalking. And you don't have to let that get to you because stuff like this can drive someone crazy. But you have to remember the light in you is way more powerful than any corrupt darkness in someone's heart. And if you remember that when you are dealing with high school children, whether they're in their 50s and 40s, you remember that you don't have to get in your feelings. You're just dealing with people who have yet to mature emotionally. That's it. Anyone who's emotionally mature, anyone who's enlightened, anyone who's awakened, you're part of that tribe. They don't treat you like that. They're mature. You don't have to worry about that. But sometimes the illusion they use is to band behind other idiots to make you feel like you don't fit in. And it's all an illusion. As long as you remember it's all an illusion, as long as you remember, statistically speaking, there's always going to be more people who are uninitiated than initiated, and you remember it's all good. Don't let it knock you off balance because it can be trying. And also with the devil card, know that you could attract a soul flame or a very sexually igniting experience. But the lesson here is to take that dark and transmute it into positivity. A lot of you will have sexual experiences that you're destined and fated to have, so that through the sexual experience, you can take a potentially toxic and abusive partner or situation and transmute it to something positive. When you meet some of these soulmates, you might be feeling like having dirty base sex with them, and you should. But the goal here is to transmute it from the devil to the lovers, to where something that starts off raunchy and activates the fire of your root chakra gets purified and starts to rise up your crown. As such, the temptation here is you'll be dealing with people who indulge a lot of your addictions. You'll be dealing with people who enable your darkness. And they have to enable your darkness so they light that fire. It's up to you to make sure you don't let them enable it, but you still connect with them. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. It's not white or black. You're going to be dealing with the devil and a lot of people, and you have to make sure that you don't let the devil win you. You have to make sure you regulate and moderate. Okay, so you don't basically inadvertently create a new addiction. For those of you who don't necessarily pass this trial, you're going to develop a sexual addiction with a toxic partner. For those of you who do, you're going to take something that starts off sexually addictive and you're going to purify that intent through to your discipline. This is why I said with this energy, you're going to get a lot of what you want. The devil is going to give you everything you ever wanted, but are you going to let it corrupt you? Or are you going to walk with integrity with it? So here's the greatest news. Moving forward, you really are going to manifest a lot of what you wanted. The next front of this battle is when you're getting directly confronted, how do you manage it? And can you keep it? And will you make it last? And will you let it change you for the better or worse? Okay. Soulmate love is here for you all. And when I mean soulmate love, I mean true, deep soulmate love. Some of you are in relationships with people that you've been with for years, and you're going to connect with them in ways that you've never connected before, because both of you are at a place spiritually to where you can open more of your heart to each other. Some of you are just getting together with certain people that you've been with for like a month to a couple years, and you're going to really ignite a very authentic love between each other that will really help both of you make more risks in how much you trust each other. Some of you have been waiting and have been celibate and or single for a long time. And if you've been opening your heart up for a long-lasting relationship, it's here for you. All you have to do, and this is your homework for tonight, 2 homeworks. Your homework for tonight is to call in your soulmate. So the breathing technique that we have is to breathe down your diaphragm and then breathe out gratitude. So one of the ceremonies we've done, we've already put energy to the sun. So you can breathe that golden energy down to clear your system. And then as you breathe down in your diaphragm, feel the essence. Call in your soulmate. Call in your twin flame. You're connected energetically. So call in the energy. Feel it come down. Spend as long as you need meditating on this and feel what they feel like. Some of you may not even know what they look like, but it's not about what they look like. It's the frequency, okay? Call in this soulmate and call it in by feeling the feeling that you want, that you know the relationship will be, and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in the vibration of this union and breathe out gratitude. And then also call in your soulmate by setting the intention to connect and by literally calling in your soulmate to open up to meet them. Around this time, because Venus is in Gemini as well, calling in your soulmate will bring quick results, and it will initially call them in so that you can get to know them. This 2 of Cups comes with the 10 of Cups, so any connections you make will reach the climax, all right, through fate. Connect with destiny here and know that the energy is delicate. It's like water. So if you doubt and you disbelieve, you're emoting frequencies of disbelief and you're not going to connect, versus your intention that will open a portal to meet them. Know that when you call your soulmate, you have to be in a ready awareness to meet them. Don't just call in your soulmate and then forget it, because then your soulmate will come through and you won't recognize them because maybe they didn't look like Prince Charming. All right. When you call in your soulmate, it's not about them looking a certain way. It's about the frequency that you'll recognize at a soul level. And for that being said, okay, the second homework that I have for you, the first is to call in your soulmate. Okay. The second that I have for you, if you're already with your soulmate, then you can still do this vibrational exercise to really connect. All right. And Heyoka said, no, my soulmate has to be hot. Have you ever seen this meme that was like, maybe your soulmate is ugly? Like, what? Thankfully, someone who is truly your soulmate, you're going to find very attractive. So even if they are ugly, you'll still like them. But what if your soulmate was like someone that was not traditionally attractive? I feel like some of y'all would be like, oh, I don't want a soulmate anymore. Never mind. I feel like if some of y'all found out your soulmates were like someone who wasn't popular or someone, some of y'all do that. Like Spirit will show you someone that's your soulmate, and it's like, I want to be a hoe now. I don't want soulmate love. Never mind. I'd rather be a hoe. That's what I'm saying. Like, some of y'all don't want your soulmates. Like, some of y'all just want to be in a very compatible relationship with a lover. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just stop asking the universe for soulmates. Because the universe is going to, you know what I'm saying? The universe is going to send a soulmate. And you're going to be looking for someone that makes your heart go like, that's a lover. That's not a soulmate. But a majority of people, if their soulmate was ugly or not attractive, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you meet your soulmate, you might meet them in an ugly duckling phase. You might meet them in a phase where they haven't stepped into their beauty yet. So you don't know they're about to transform, right? But some of you, if your soulmates are, I gotta do a skit like that. If your soulmates are ugly, you're just like, all right, you know what, universe? I don't think I want a soulmate anymore. It's all good. Or can you get me a beautiful soulmate? One thing in mind, though, if you remember, everything is perception, and someone that's ugly to someone else could be beautiful to someone else. So if you do find that they're ugly or corny, know that they're a reflection of you. So if you think they're ugly, that means you think a part of yourself is ugly. Okay, and it doesn't have to be surface level. Other than that, I'm gonna get in the super chat. The second homework is to prepare for this Pluto retrograde resurrection. The resurrection of your initiated being is going to resurrect raw, pure energy. Pluto is raw, pure energy. Okay, it's very survivalist. It's very pure. The decision that we make to not go crazy is Mercury. It's mercurial. It's Saturnian, and it's the sun. The reason why when I go to Walmart or when I go to Vaughn's, or if I go to, you know what I'm saying, the mall, or if I go to anywhere public, the reason why I don't rip off my pants and start beating people over the head with my penis is because I don't want to go to jail. And I have, bounds through which with Saturn, we have limitations and restrictions. This is why it's good to have Saturn, okay? Pluto is pure. So when this energy resurrects, you're going to have a pure energy that's not filtered between this is right to do, this is wrong to do. All right. You have an energy within yourself that's unconscious. It's just primal. It's the energy that awakens when you feel like ripping someone's clothes off. The reason why I don't rip off, the reason why when I get hard and I don't just rip off somebody's clothes and I start humping them and I'll be like, oh, oh, oh. One, my black ass will go to jail. Okay. Two, I have other energies that help me discern how to do this. That raw primal energy is Pluto. And a lot of this pureness can be distorted before it's baptized and purified. So your homework is to identify your Pluto. What is the most evil part of yourself? What is the vibration of your unconscious self? Okay, because what's going to happen is you're going to have a dark lord resurrect within yourself, and now you have to take that dark energy and use it for good. You have to use it for good. You have to be responsible for your actions, but you're going to have to learn how to transmute that darkness. With this Pluto retrograde, you're going to feel more sensitive about things. And because you have more of that pure energy, someone can look at you the wrong way. And you can be like, I want to kill them. Or, oh, I need to do some evil spell. Relax. This is just the Plutonian energy that is rising within you that needs to be transmuted. Because of a pure place of your subconscious is getting expanded, you're having to learn to use it more. So what is the dark part of yourself? I want you to imagine a positive part or a positive, how can you transmute any negative intent into positivity to where you can take this evil dark lord within yourself, figuratively speaking, and you could use that intensity to now hate something else or direct it towards something else. This is all about transmutation. And this is why I'm saying the spiritual war is going to get more intense, because not everyone is going to transmute this energy positively. Certain people are not initiated. Certain people don't have integrity. So they're going to have this dark energy, and it's going to motivate them to do darker things. And this is going to reveal who's who, what's what, and this is also going to help you sense men a whole lot better. All right. So I hope you all enjoyed this broadcast. Really do appreciate y'all. I think this is one of the better broadcasts. I was able to channel a whole lot. And yeah, really open your heart up to any relevant soulmates, twin flames, and really prepare for the plutonic side of yourself to wake up from its coma. And you have to really regulate it, because if you don't regulate it, it's sinister. It's going to try and deceive you so that it has its way with you. But you're the boss here. You're the one who owns your vessel. Don't let ancient evil within you take you over. I can't believe I just said that with a straight face. And now I'm going to do the super chat. Be prepared for results. Okay. And a lot of celebration for your positive victories. I need some chapstick. This is ridiculous. Charlie, thank you for the donation. The card we have for you is the Queen of Cups, which I think I've pulled for you before, but it comes with the Three of Wands. So there's definitely some long-term plans being made. This could be someone who has deep feelings. Yeah, I remember pulling this before about someone who has deep feelings for you, and they might have plans for you, okay? But this is really talking about when it comes to mapping out your future plans, you want to go more with how you feel versus what you think. You want to really embrace more how you feel about these plans once again versus how you think about them, in the sense where you want to really acknowledge these deep feelings to help you guide you forward because of the psychic intent that you have to understand what you're doing. White Saifu, we have the Justice card. So karma, once again, is on your side. The integrity that you're walking forward with is actually going to help you walk right. And it's going to allow a lot to rule in your favor because you're on the right side of justice. Okay. Larry Jacko, we have the Two of Swords for you and also the Death card. So this is bringing an end of being indecisive if you found that it's been hard to choose either way. And this is also going to bring with it a release of energy to where a lot of your heart is not going to be blocked due to not really knowing how to express deeper seated feelings. This is going to happen passively. And it is a Moon in Libra card. So it could be around there that happens too, sometime next week or at the end of this week. Ashley Riddick, we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords, which is definitely urging you to really get as much rest as you can and allow yourself time for meditation so that you could definitely heal your mind and just really, gain a lot more calmness in your life. Sunshine Bee, we have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups definitely speaking of you being in a position to tap closer into a lot of your innocence and the nostalgia that your inner child helps bring. Encounter with a soulmate will definitely help this and bring it out as well. L Rising, we have the Magician card. Thank you so much for the donation. The Magician card is definitely indicating that you not only have everything you need, but with the Empress, there's a lot of beauty that you're going to manifest. You're really going to be in a position to open up outright a very magical sense of yourself through the administration of your skills, the utilization of your talents, and really just you believing in yourself. This comes with the Ace of Swords too. So this is just full victory. There's going to be greater abundance that really opens up with and for you that will also allow for a much greater level of balance in your life as well. Okay. Sharon Andrea. Oh, nice. We do have the Empress, so this place is looking great. There we go. That I really felt like you would find a better place, and it's looking really great for you getting it. And we even have the Ace of Wands, so you're moving in as soon as now. It's Ace of Wands is going to speak of not only very quick and speedy service, but the Empress is going to be a very great place where that place is going to help you attract more abundance. So very great. All right. Jazz Ravenel, thank you so much for tuning in and spending time with us. The cards that we have for you are the Five of Swords, but this is also coming with the Nine of Cups. So I get the sense where you may be dealing with certain people. I think you're going to have your wishes come true. This is twofold. A lot of your wishes are going to manifest, but this can bring jealousy or some kind of discord. But I also get the sense, my intuition told me initially, or the way I intuitively picked it up initially, is you're going to get into an argument. You're going to get into an argument with someone. Ooh, this might even be more revealing. There's someone who doesn't really like you right now. There's a showdown with someone that you're going to have as well. And they're going to open up about their dislike for you or what beef they have. But the thing is, this person is a lot of them is your wish come true. So what starts off as conflict or negative is through the conflict going to end up as a favorable situation. So it's not going to seem that way because they may seem like they hate you, but after they meet you, after they actually go through it, it's going to actually be something that you resolve very positively. Okay, Keisha B. But regardless, the Nine of Cups is saying your wishes are coming true. Okay, Keisha B. We have the Four of Pentacles. So the Scorpio you're interested in thinks that you have great stability. They think that you're a great place of grounding and foundation. And I think they don't really have any emotional feelings for you as much as they feel that you're very wealthy or rich in a certain sense. And they feel like they feel or think that you can hold them down. Okay. Ivoshka. We have the Ivushka, we have the Seven of Pentacles, and we also have the Queen of Cups. So if you're investing any feelings for somebody, if you are really cultivating emotions, just have a long-term look at that. Know that it's not for nothing. You're not really being held waiting for too long, but you really just want to embrace more or less a lot of the patience that you're taking stock with, especially when it comes to any habits or hobbies. This will reach a natural peak and climax. So you will find yourself in a place and space where any emotional situations you're waiting to develop will develop at its peak, and you're not waiting in vain. Okay. Michael Tate, we have the Lover's card. The Lover's card is going to bring sexual experiences and very awesome opportunities for you to connect at a heart and sexual level. And you definitely want to embrace how this allows you to express your sexuality. Miss Kiki, your Cap twin flame is going through a lot of anxiety, especially with a lot of this Capricorn energy. So you definitely might be picking up a lot on how they kind of feel empty in their, but they're really just going through more mental anxiety, and it's not allowing them to think straight, because I don't think any Capricorn is really being as open as they'd like to when it comes to talking to someone about this. So they really feel that they can't really trust anybody, and it's like their own nightmare simulation that they're living. So that's how your Cap twin flame is feeling. Dark Raw Indigo, we have the Chariot card. The Chariot card is definitely speaking of you being in a position to champion forth more victory, and the momentum that you're moving forward with is going to allow you to gain a great awakening. So know that what you're working towards is going to reveal more of your true life's purpose, and not just that, you're headed towards very great life-changing victory during this period. And the Lover's card is here. So this is going to really be a breakthrough in your love life that will allow you to move further with a love interest or a new love interest in significant ways due to your self-love and due to the work you've done on yourself. So congratulations, okay? Dimensional Traveler, the card that I have for you is the Knight of Cups. Should I make an investment and stay here? The Knight of Cups honestly doesn't speak too much about making an investment as much as it speaks of making this decision with your feelings and really expressing more of your artistic talent. So if this investment has to do with art, if staying here has to do with developing more of your artistic talent and your spirituality, then you will want to. If not, if it's going to take away from that, you really want to do stuff that will kind of allow you to stay here. And the influence of this night could help you make this decision too. Only you can be you. Perfect tag. The card that we have is the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is definitely speaking of a passionate leader who is very powerfully going to make themselves known in your life. I think this will be a really positive ability for you to rope in a good friend and get to know somebody who's very passionate about being in your life. Okay. Sammy S. Message from Pluto or Venus for me. We have the World. You wanted a message from Pluto or Venus, Sammy, and Saturn came out. Saturn wants to give you success. Saturn wants to give you a lot of power, and Saturn wants to know, are you ready? Saturn wants to know, are you ready for that next level? It's going to bring a lot much more responsibility, but get ready to step into more success than you ever thought possible. That's from Saturn. Renee, should I move back to my small hometown? Renee, did you see the card just flip? Oh my God. Do you see the card just flip right now? This was what was under it. The Eight of Cups. This card fell out right now. Okay. So the Eight of Cups is literally the card of you moving back. Yes, you should move back to your hometown, especially when it comes reversed. If that's not magic, I don't know what is, or unless it's just a very beautiful coincidence. Ooh, we got Nicole Isabel in the building. Nicole is one of my Libra crushes. What's good? I love my Libra crushes. Y'all, Miss Kiki is also one of my Libra crushes. You know, I love y'all Libras. That's why I talk a lot of shit on y'all. But what's good, Nicole? What's poppin'? Renee definitely open up to walking back or really going back, and yeah, it'll definitely be good luck. And yeah, actually, I want to go out to LA tomorrow or Thursday to shoot a video. So if you're in the LA area, I may be in San Francisco. My plans got kind of derailed because I didn't really receive something that I expected. So I might have to postpone the trip, but I'll keep y'all posted. Should I be in that area? Okay. Claire Smith, thank you so much for the donation. We have the Ace of Cups for you. And Claire, I feel like this Ace of Cups is more than powerful or relevant. This Ace of Cups is ushering in a whole new phase and state of love for yourself, to where everything about your relationships with others is more advanced, enhanced love. Your cup is going to runneth over. And there's a psychic breakthrough that will allow you to connect with spirit and to use your intuition in a sense, in a way, gang, that totally opens up a whole new world for you, okay? Now, this is coming with the King of Pentacles. So this could be a new love with a Taurus or a very wealthy man who's definitely loving you in all sorts of ways. And this comes with the World. So this is going to complete a lot of your situation, especially with the Eight of Wands. You're going to see a lot of chemistry through this completion, really moving fast. So this seems to be a new love situation. Or if you're with someone already, it could be opening up a new phase of this. But it's with this King of Pentacles, it seems. So that's very interesting. Astro Dim 7. Meowing right as I'm about to pull your card, Miss Super Psychic. I got the Seven of Pentacles. Astro Dim, what you're waiting for something to come. You've been putting in work on something, and there's certain situations that you're just allowing time to transition. But I think you've been kind of just holding steady, and I think you've been peeping game. It's like, let me just be patient, and I'll see over time whether something's worth it or not. Whatever you're waiting for, it's working. And you just want to be a little bit more patient, because you're going to be in a position once Uranus goes into Taurus in May to finally start to work with this. So you're not going to be waiting that much longer, maybe at most another couple weeks. So just look more long term with things, all right? Mika, what should I focus on for the next 8 weeks? We have the Page of Cups. So you want to focus on love, and you want to focus on really creative experiences, because under this page we have the Ace. So I think your inner child is tapping into the one. I think your soulmate is calling you in, Mika. If you're not already with one, the Page of Cups is talking about catching feelings. So if you found you've been catching feelings, if you found that your feelings are trying to keep you into some emotional energy, you want to follow that, okay? You definitely want to allow yourself the ability to awaken new talents, and over those next 8 weeks to really embrace this fully, okay? So other than that, oh wow, the Page of Cups will bring a lot of very positive emotional experiences through this as well. Rainbow, nice. Rainbow, so the channel message that I have for you is that a lot of your relationship with Zach and also with other people is allowing you to connect people to God. It's like you are a walking goddess, Rainbow, in the sense where you might have had a special destiny contract to where the goddess clan chose your vessel, not like you were chosen as a human, like, I'm gonna choose you. Ooh, good stuff, Mike Tate. Good stuff, Mike Tate. Rainbow, it's not like I'm gonna choose you to be my vessel. It's more like you are doing the goddess clan a favor. Because your vessel is so pure, the goddess clan was like, Rainbow, please, could we use you as a connect so we can work with certain people through you? So when you connect at a heart level with someone, you now become a gateway to that goddess vibration, and you channel their higher selves, and you become goddess so that you give them that experience of the divine. So really keep that in mind, because your significant relationships are going to deepen even more through this influence. And for Zach, Zach is reaching an important completion in his life to where he's about to start on a new end and get to a new beginning. Okay, this is definitely going to allow him to align a lot with his destiny, because a lot of what he's really wrapping up is to set him up on the next journey. And not only that, Zach is going through a very profound graduation. So everything that he has effectively learned his whole life is graduating him to a whole new adventure and journey, to where he's going to use this beautifully to actually start a new phase. So it's a very much so an energy of completion and new beginnings, which is so awesome. Okay, Susan Bassinja, the card we have for you is the Three of Cups. And I love this because you donated $3.33. So you tipped me $3.33. So to get the Three of Cups is even more auspicious. And it's 9:03 p.m. So I really feel like you're about to connect with very key friends that you're going to celebrate with. This is twofold. You're going to be celebrating, but you're also going to be making heart-to-heart connections with key friends that will be significant for the greater part of your life that you're going to be successful with. So any kind of celebration or party you go to, know that's going to be super faded, all right? Calypso, Calypso. This card just came out with looking for insight on my relationship with a friend. The Fool card energy is wanting you to be very open-minded. The Fool card energy is wanting you to be very open to possibilities. And this friend is going to definitely open your mind to new territory that you might have been closed off on before or just needed new exploration in. Keep an open mind with this friend because it's definitely going to open a new adventure with them. Emily Beard, what's pressing? We got the 3 for you too. This ain't a coincidence, my friends. We got the 3. I don't think people knew what you tipped, but we got the 3 for you too. So whatever is pressing for you, Emily, the way this is different for you, Emily, Spirit wants you to have more fun, especially if you've been working hard, all right? You know, Spirit wants you to have a lot more fun. And I'm not mad at anybody. Don't listen to Empress. She wants attention as a Leo. That's cool. I love you all. I'm not mad at nobody. But yes, the 3 of Cups is definitely speaking of you personally being in a position to go out and have fun. Once again, especially if you haven't, find some friends that you can just say fuck it and have fun with and just fuck it and have fun with them. And just celebrate life because the more celebration you do, the better. Okay. The Healing Rose. The card that I have for you is the Queen of Swords. Okay. You bugging. I had to type that. My Capricorn moon's like, I don't blow kisses. Hell no. All right. Anyway, the Healing Rose, the card we have for you, is the 7 of Wands. But I also want to pull the World card because the World card is definitely speaking, because we had the Queen of Swords too, but the World card and the 7 of Pentacles is definitely speaking of your independence and your intellectual energy over time, okay, growing to lead to very great completion. So the independent projects you're working on, just give a little bit more time for them to grow. You're going to have total success with them. It's not going to be delayed. Things are just going to take a little longer, like maybe 2 weeks longer, just so that things can be assessed necessarily so, okay? Diavolo Casar, you are so amazing. Thank you so much again for the donation. It means a lot that you would invest this much. I really appreciate that. I was told to pull a card for a random person of choosing in the live chat. So first of all, I'm gonna pull like 6 cards for you. So I have the 6 of Cups. Okay. I also have the Queen of Cups, because I got the 6 again. All right. So first of all, we have very deep soulmate love developing. I want you to see how there's this little girl here, but behind this little girl whose love is so innocent, she's really a deep queen with ever flowing love. Okay. So you're stepping into a much, much, much greater Jules Kane, no worries. You can cash at me for sure. But yeah, really keep this in mind because this is opening up deeper love, and simultaneously with the 4 of Pentacles and the Temperance, this is also going to bring stability and balance so that as you're gaining greater material resources and recognition, your lifestyle is able to free up more time so you're not just working and you can do more that you love, and so that you can also feel more into this love around you. And also, we have more celebration with the 3 of Cups, and the 8 of Cups is you seeking deeper meaning, all right? I get the sense that perhaps this might not really involve you because there's some kind of disappointment and some kind of like disagreement, but that's going to really have much to do with certain people who kind of have a falling out with you while you're kind of cultivating a lot of this joy, all right? But once again, we have the Queen of Cups here, this time with the Page of Pentacles. So there is developing a deeper foundation of love for you. And Sunita Ishvarlal And the Lilith 360, I'm going to pull cards for you. Okay. The card that I have for you, Sunita, is the Hangman. The Hangman is saying that whatever you're going through, you really want to just surrender to and just let go and just completely let go of control. I think you might be in a very difficult situation in some area of your life, not every area. And regardless of that, the less you do and the more you just surrender it, the better. You'll get a different perspective, okay? The Lilith 360. The card I have for you is the King of Cups, urging you, of course, to be very mindful about how it is that you very powerfully really work on your feelings. This King of Cups, their presence in your life will allow you to be more emotionally mature and collected. As far as what I feel about the flat earth, I believe that the world is not perfectly round. I think it's some kind of like oblong figure, and it's roundish though. And I don't believe in a firmament. I don't believe in a flat earth, and I don't believe that it's flat. I do want to research a flat earth model though that acknowledges astrology, because there are such that exist, but I personally believe the world is not flat. Gladiator in Sweats, the channeled message that I have for you, ironically, Brienne said the word that I was going to say, but you're activating your Merkaba, okay? Your Merkaba and your spiritual energy is activating, and what is facilitating the activation is the conversations that you have. I don't know if you have any air sign energy in your zodiac chart, but your air sign energy is going to be connecting to people, and it's going to be accelerating your energy. So be mindful of the concepts, the new ideas you hear from people. The message that I have for you, Gladiator in Sweats, is that if you're to talk to 10 people over the course of a week, regardless of what relation they have to you, listen to the collective message that's being spoken, because you're going to have a conversation with one person about what's in their own world. But if you listen to what every single person said, it's almost like a collective consciousness saying a sentence, and a certain idea is brought within each person. And each conversation you will have will put a puzzle piece together to where a collective vibration, Gladiator in Sweats, is speaking to you, but it's too big to ground in one person, so it's speaking through multiple different people, and you're going to kind of gain that through that. Okay, Ein, happy birthday! Oops, happy Taurus season birthday! And the cards just dropped. The card that I have for you. Also, the message that I channeled for Gladiator and Sweats, some of this applies to y'all too. So keep that in mind. And the card that I have for you is the Knight of Pentacles. So the message that the cards have is to definitely stay very practical. There's going to be a stabilization of your finances. But interestingly enough, this also comes with the Strength card. So there's going to be a lot more passion and courage that you're able to express while still keeping grounded. I get the sense that this Knight of Pentacles is also someone you'll share this passion with. So this is really speaking of greater fun and also greater stability in your life. Happy birthday and congratulations. Neelami, okay? We have the Ace of Cups, and I like how you put that heart. The stars, but you really manifested this yourself. There's new love for you. It comes with the Empress. This combination is the combination of pregnancy and giving birth to a new child. So this could be new beauty. This is definitely new unconditional love that's going to bless your life. And this could be a new relationship. This could be new psychic gifts, new abundance. This could be a new beauty line that you purchase. Regardless, a lot of beauty in the way, on the way, and here for you, sparking out of thin air. Congratulations. Okay. Moonbase, if you ever get an ace card and a major arcana, that's positive. Great. Moonbase, thank you. And we have the Two of Wands for you. You're definitely in a very positive position that is allowing you primarily to plan forth your next moves. You definitely want to embrace the new phase you're stepping into, but let's also acknowledge the Four of Swords. Make sure you don't spread yourself too thin over what you're planning, and make sure you get the proper rest. But what I'm sensing here with this is nothing like, it's far left from what the cards say. What the Four of Swords and the Two of Wands I get from this is that person in the Four of Wands is going to resurrect. An ancient part of yourself is going to resurrect within your spirit and soul. And it's going to take every idea that was fragmented, and this resurrection is going to put it all together to where it's like, oh, I'm going to do this with everything I've been working with. And you're just going to know more so than ever how to plan and what to plan over this whole entire Pluto retrograde, but especially during these first 2 months of it, okay? Really 2 weeks. Care Stone, important messages. First, we have the Five of Wands, but it's coming with the Judgment card. It's definitely allowing you to tap into any clashing personalities in a higher way that will reveal people's motives. And whatever competitive situations you're working through, there's about to be a great climax to really reveal more intentions and more where you stand and more what you have to do through this all. On top of that, you also want to be mindful of making sure you don't take any clashes too personally. It's really more ego than anything significant. Rachel Paez. Rachel Paez. How do I stay afloat? We have the Ten of Wands. So just make sure you don't overwork yourself, and just make sure you delegate responsibility. Thankfully, this comes with the Star card. So all this hard work is coming into a great fruition where you will manifest a lot of your dreams, but you may be so busy you don't see that a lot of what you're working towards is right in front of you. So just make sure you don't overwork yourself, because if you take on too much responsibility, it will lead to procrastination. And as long as you just tackle all this work that you have to get through, you'll be all right, despite the added responsibility. India Dallas. We have the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is definitely signaling greater wealth, whether through inheritance, but I think you're going to come into a lot of money on your own. And this is the type of money that could set up your family moving forward. So, or any family you might actually invest in. So definitely awesome. DSIs, we have, or these eyes, we have Two of Wands for you. This one just kind of came out for you. And know that whatever plans you're making is fully meant to manifest your being into the world. Focus on what is your place in the world. What is it that you're wanting to manifest for yourself, and be willing to make those original decisions, all right? Under the Mystic Moon, regarding career, the Page of Wands is ushering the presence of a very influential person or being who can definitely help you get what you want, whether they manage you or whether they give you advice. Personally, this is saying that you want to take more entrepreneurial decisions and risks when it comes to being independent, doing what you do, and really focusing a lot more of what's passionate to you, especially with the Six of Wands, which interestingly looks like you're moving towards the King of Wands. There's a transition that's allowing you more time to do more of what you're passionate of through your career. So allow this to really create more space in positive ways. All right, Darlene, thank you very much for the tip or donation. We have the Page of Cups, and we also have the Four of Wands. So there are going to be new emotional situations that lead to great reunion in your career and in love. This is going to birth from your heart, and you're definitely going to have a lot more positivity. But there are new feelings as well that will inspire stronger love connections. And this is going to definitely lead to stronger happiness, and it's going to really help you enjoy a lot more of your life and embrace more gratitude. So, congratulations. Okay. Pause your woods. All right. We have the Five of Swords. And we also have the Four of Swords, okay? So I was gonna say you might deal with certain arguments or clashes of opinion, but what this is saying is your mind is a bit scattered right now. You're channeling a lot of energy and it's irritating you. A lot of the energy you're channeling isn't always all yours too. So you need to meditate and you need to rest so that you don't necessarily approach things from a more scattered mind and you can really balance a lot of your mind. Okay, the Four of Swords here will balance out the Five of Swords. And Lonnie Andrea, I connected too deeply. Now what? Okay, we have the Two of Cups, more connection. Okay, the Two of Cups is really speaking a lot more of you developing a mutual love connection. If you're talking about connecting too deeply to someone, the Two of Cups is actually going to speak of whoever you're connected to connecting mutually with you as well. All right, so this is great. The Two of Cups is speaking of satisfying mutual love that you can both enjoy. KB Shang, how does Pluto retro affect me? Okay, we have the Knight of Cups. So this Pluto retrograde is going to allow you to express greater truth of your heart and greater truth of your emotions. It's definitely going to open up a very powerful understanding of how well you could undertake a really more vibrant understanding of how you word your feelings. And if there have been any inhibitions around taking your more seductive romantic feelings and wording it, you're going to have a new truth of the heart through this Pluto retro that'll give you more confidence to express yourself sexually a lot more. Jade Wizard, I'm really glad you enjoy the anime and video references. We have the Hangman for you. So I love how you said you're going through an intense transformative process. That's the Hangman right here. You're shedding the layers. The good thing to know is that this is not in vain, and the Four of Wands is promising great results for you, okay? So the Hangman is just saying keep surrendering through this process. Your personality is slowly going to transform. I know right now we have the Nine of Swords. It's not the easiest process. Here's the isolation. You're sitting with your thoughts. But after this dark night, there's going to be nothing but positivity. Know that this dark night is dark because it's the last dark night of the soul you'll have in probably the rest of your life. So you can totally embrace that after this process, which is ending very soon, there is great light on the other side. There's not only just great light, but there's power and there's a joy. And you want to embrace a lot of gratitude with this, okay, and completion as well. Margaret, thank you for the tip. The card we have for you is the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is bringing forth with it great victory, actually, because it's coming with the Four of Wands as well, too. And the Ace of Pentacles is definitely speaking of you investing in a new income stream, you gaining a gift, you probably starting a new job, but I think this is more a new income stream or maybe an outright gift. This is a new healthy beginning that's going to lead to more stability and foundation to your life. It's great to come with the Four of Wands. So congratulations. Okay. Amaris Crespo, we have the Four of Pentacles for you. The Four of Pentacles is definitely speaking of you being in a position to gain greater stability financially and recognition. So there's assured material gain that you'll definitely get. All right. BL. I had 2 interviews today. One at a place similar to a job I previously had when my awakening started. They both went great. So good luck, positive vibes for you indeed. We have, yeah, the King of Cups and the Emperor are coming. So if there are any father figures in your life or controlling influences, this is really just meant, or maybe a soulmate. It's definitely going to help mirror your energy and bring out more of this masculine energy within you. But the card I have for you is the Chariot, which is great victory, and the Ten of Cups. The Chariot and the Ten of Cups is the victory that a gold medalist in the Olympics gets once they win. So you're definitely coming into a huge W that's going to bring great bliss, control, and momentum through momentum in your life. Okay. Brown Goddess. Should I continue with this Leo? The Hierophant definitely says yes. But more, I mean, it comes with the Lovers too. So this might indicate potential marriage. You want to make sure that it's aligned with the status quo in a sense, as well as aligned with a lot of your beliefs, okay? And if you feel like it's taking you away from tradition or it's inviting you to be fairly unorthodox, then you might have to leave. I mean, if it's fairly unorthodox, it's not bad. But yeah, you should you should continue with this, Leo. Definitely wait until after the last eclipse in Leo season to decide, because that'll give you more insight. Okay. King Capo, thank you for the tip. We have the 8 of Wands and the Ace of Swords. The 8 of Wands and the Ace of Swords is talking about very quickly realizations happening. You're going to unlock a new version of your truth. The 8 of Wands is saying over the next week or so, you have to open up to great communication. The lines of communication are going to open up. Certain people that you've been waiting to hear from are going to contact you. Certain people you've been wanting to connect to if you couldn't open up before, now it's open. The green light is there, and they're going to be enlightening conversations that really open up the truth of what's going on. This could all happen with the soulmate, and it's going to make things move very quickly as well. Beautiful Miss Young, I appreciate you as well. We have the Lovers card for you. So there's definitely a lot of positivity, a lot of fun, and once again, a lot of love to be had. And it comes with the Queen of Pentacles. So this is also going to speak a lot of you grounding a lot of your sexuality through the energy of this queen, and you also stepping into a stronger part of yourself through connecting like love, like so. Okay. No. Oh, Katrina Brown. You want to open up to a whole new love. Okay. There's a new spark of love, especially, I don't know if you're single, but there's going to be a new opportunity for love. Whether you're single or not, you're definitely going to break through psychically, and the way you connect to spirit is going to evolve. However, what this is going to entail is for you to open your heart, because right now you might be seeing a fog. You might be seeing different options. There we go, Katrina. I think that you're tapping into your soulmate or your true life partner, and you're seeing the potential of this through different people. You're seeing people who feel like they could be your soulmate, but there's too much options and you're not sure if it's really them. What's going to happen is through that fog of uncertainty, your true love is going to open up. And you just want to open up your heart, because it's going to revisit certain pain and hurt that might make you skeptical. But it's like you might pick up that they could hurt you, but it's actually going to be cool this time. All right. Nosh, will my venture take off? Miss Hussein, we do have the Justice card. So yes, with the 4 of Wands, it will take off. However, the Justice card is saying you have to make sure your venture is on the right side of the law. The Justice card is saying if there are any permits you need, if there are any things that you need so that down the line you don't get screwed by the law, because you probably needed some kind of license, or you probably needed some kind of legal work. Make sure you get all the legal work cleared out. Once the legal work is cleared out, it's success the whole way. Okay, so congratulations. All right. Someone who tipped $9.99 and they deleted their message, but I think they had this symbol or a light or crown symbol. The card that I have for you is the Queen of Swords, but I also have the Two of Pentacles. So this is just saying continue to stay very focused on your independent. Oh, Lena Love, awesome. Continue to stay focused on your goals. All right. The work you're doing and the experience you're gaining is going to help you create a new field because of your experience. If you wanted to write something, it's also allowing you the opportunity to really put into motion a lot to build for your success. But I get the sense that you could have someone working for you, Lena. So this could be you supervising someone who hustles for you and with you, who might be in a better position to. And you really just want to be in that position to very powerfully kind of connect with that. All right. Once again, the Ace of Swords comes through because it's speaking of a great epiphany occurring that will bless you and once again lead you into great success. So the current work you're doing right now, you just want to stay focused on that because it's going to lead you to greater victory and total completion. Okay, and graduation. Really? Jody Donald, the card that I have for you. Thank you, Consciously Focused. Thank you very much. Jody Donald, we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is definitely wanting you to go within, really sit deeper with your emotions, and listen to how you feel. Make sure with the Four of Swords, rather, you get as much rest as you can, listen to some binaural beats, really meditate, and allow yourself to really gain much needed mental clarity, all right? And make sure that you don't really let anything get in your way of really, losing balance from your head, all right? And yeah, thank you. So Deb B, the card that I have for you, my friend, the Aquarius moon, and our friendship is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is basically speaking of you just continuing to work on your friendship, and not just working on your friendship, oh my God, and not just working on your friendship, but also being in a position primarily to continue with repetition anything you've already been working on, so that with the repetition, the quality work you put in continues to show itself, and you also gain more money. April Williams, we have the Five of Cups. So your heart is definitely dealing with a lot of release, okay? And I think a lot of this is tied to this Devil card situation. You're having to let go of a toxic situation. So just know that what you're letting go of and what you're releasing is toxic. And even though it may seem like you're missing out and losing out on this, you're ultimately doing better for yourself. And this is going to allow you to reclaim more of your powers, because you're letting go of maybe someone who had promise and potential, but just kind of wasted it. Okay. Aquarian Adepts, what is Spirit wanting me to know at this moment? The Ace of Cups is all about connecting with Spirit through your intuition. And Spirit is wanting you to know that your intuition is awakening and evolving to the next level, where you feel things more deeply, you sense things more deeply. And with the Justice card, it's definitely going to open and transform a lot more room for you to experience love in the next level. So this may manifest itself in a new relationship romantically as well. Let us live. Regardless, Spirit is wanting you to open your heart more to the divine and connect more to it through your feelings. Let us live. We have the King of Cups. So interestingly enough for you, I get the sense you could be walking away from this King of Cups, or it's just really calling for you to be a lot much more emotionally grounded, mature, and responsible with your feelings, okay? Zaria Jordan, we do have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is actually promising greater stability in your community, and you're going to really create a sanctuary-like feel in what it is you open for yourself, quite primarily. And not just that, there's definitely some great pleasant surprises for you in the works as well that will be more than good for you, and also encourage harmony on a higher scale. So open up to possibilities. You know, you'll find that you're expanding your living situation through this. So with greater gratitude, you'll definitely come into more power and positivity. Diane Nolan. Oops. The card I have for you is the Strength, which I feel is very much so you. You are going to embody this woman. You have been embodying this woman, and now is where you fully activate her. You definitely, up until now, worked on embodying the consciousness of this infinite goddess and having the mindset and thinking like this person within, and now it's ready to activate because your mind can handle that limitless potential. And it even comes with the Fool. Like, this is really your supernatural awakening and the adventure you go on with superpowers, and you really learning how to create greater passion in your life. So focus on your passions above all. Thank you, Elsie. Okay, thank you. Annie, Broken House Shack. Okay, we have the Judgment card for you. The Judgment card is definitely speaking of you really being awakened, reawakened to your higher purpose and your life path. What you're meant to be doing, especially a lot of how well you can get it done, all right? And it's definitely going to reveal the true motives of certain people, but it's also going to allow you a greater understanding of your true life's purpose once again. Rosalind Steele, we have the Moon card for you. And I'm pulling the Moon with the King of Cups, which is speaking of a secret relationship with this king. There could be someone who you have deep feelings to, and I think they feel into that too. A lot of the Moon obscures this, but this is also speaking to the deeper development of your psychic ability through the maturation of your emotional energy body. And this is going to allow you in a different way to tap into psychic insight in unconventional ways, instead of through your mind and heart, more through your feelings and intuition. All right, Jeremy Narr, we have the Three of Cups for you. The Three of Cups is speaking of great celebration. As a Taurus sun, this is your birthday period. So make every day of this season your birthday and celebrate. Actual party. Spirit is saying party, all right? Let me not say Spirit is saying, but party, you know what I mean? Actually make a celebration out of every day this season so that you can add on to this and find people to enjoy this with you, okay? Holly Sherwood, because you're going to make new friends. We have the Page of Wands. There's new exciting energy that you're going to receive, especially around maybe a raise or around more money. You're going to be getting more money, and it's going to be really exciting, okay? So definitely embrace a lot of this energy for yourself. K. Martin, Soul Bay says, what's up back? Okay, this could even be your soul. This is the Soul Bay. So Soul Bay says, what's up back? Okay, for real. Soul Bay is ready to reunite with you too. And you may even meet Soul Bay through somebody. Okay, so keep that in mind. there's definitely a lot of positive developments and new starts for you, Kay. So really keep an open mind and be very open once again to a lot of new adventures in your life and new chapters. Lil Tafari, we have the Strength card for you, and the Strength card is reiterating a lot of how you express your passions through your personality. Embrace more your sexuality and be willing, more so than ever, to really do things that your heart wants, because you're going to have more inner strength necessary to embrace it. Empress Daisy from Svetlexia, we have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is definitely speaking of great soulmate reunion. I think you're going to connect with a kindred soul this week or pretty soon. And I mean, there you go. You just said you want your card to be about your twin and about me. And I think it ended up being about you and your twin. So this is talking about you connecting with your twin, but in an innocent way where you're both 6 years old again, and you might even develop some kind of living situation with them. Blizzy Boy, what's good? The card that I have for you is also the Four of Wands, but it's coming with the Fool. There's a greater victory you're tapping into. Results from your hard work is coming in. All right. Mike Tate, I feel you on that too. This is definitely a new kind of church. And with the Fool, there's going to be great victory and great new beginnings. There's a stronger connection. You're going to be expanding your living situation, especially if someone is changing residences. You know what I'm saying? This will have a lot to do with perhaps a new relationship with someone who might move in with you, or you might move in with them. You're going to find that you and this person's energy together is so much happier and so much powerful, so powerful, it opens up a new adventure, okay? Brienne from Miss Kiki. The card that I have for you is the Page of Cups. Brienne, your imaginary bae wants to give you a smooch. Okay, if you found yourself falling in love with any bae, there could be a new imaginary bae, there could be a new real bae, bae. All right, okay, they're not gonna be Hurricane Chris, but this is definitely speaking of new love, new feelings, new emotions. Embrace it, baby. Let this fish talk to you and just, you know what I'm saying? AZ! The card that we have for you is the King of Pentacles. Inhale love, exhale gratitude. Okay. We definitely have, did someone say orgasms? Oh my God. We definitely have great abundance, but it's coming with the Five of Cups. AZ, I think you're this king, and I think someone might feel bad for the way they treated you in the past. I don't know. So it's up to you to decide whether you'll forgive them or not. But I get the sense that you're going to be up a lot of money, and it may help you inadvertently release certain things and bring in great clarity, great rejuvenation, and it's going to be really positive. Morgan Best, always love the support. You a real one. All right, the card that I have for you is the Six of Wands. You're walking and riding the ride towards victory. There's going to be a lot more popularity and notoriety that you step into. Outside of this popularity and notoriety comes with it greater leadership. Oh, wow. Comes with it greater leadership as well as greater friends. But we're talking about you getting what you want. You're going to come out on top. This is going to be a lot of success and confidence that has much to do with you being praised and admired, and not just being praised and admired, but being looked up to because of your vibrance. All right. So the card that I have for Love Goddess is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is saying that above all, you want to be very persevering and not give up, okay? Don't necessarily allow yourself to stop while you're so close to succeeding in what you're ready to succeed in. Never surrender and stand your ground. The Nine of Wands, Love Goddess, wants you to find your courage, as you're definitely going to be much stronger than you'll find you're much stronger than ever. Now, Empress Daisy, you said, I'm ready, twin. Take me away. Kidnap me. I beg you. It's 9:44 p.m. So just know, you calling in your twin flame like this, be careful what you wish for, because that could very well happen, all right? And just so you know, for any of you who call in your soulmates or your twin flames, don't call in, because some of you can call them in and, you know, it might take a while. Know that when you're calling them in, it's actually happening. So don't necessarily be deterred. Like, you make sure you know what you're asking for, all right? The peace talk I just did with Daniel Boone, he said in there, I don't know if you guys heard, he kind of slipped it out. He was like, I wouldn't wish the karma that you have to deal with your twin flame, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So be careful, you know what you're wishing for, people, okay? Ruby Redux. The card that I have for you is the Seven of Swords, and it comes with the Six of Swords, okay? So be very mindful. This comes twofold, Ruby. I think there could be someone who's appearing innocent, but they have ulterior motives. Or this could be you connecting with the soulmate, but you're doing it in private, okay? Oh, if I call in my soulmate, he's going to instantly get me pregnant. Damn. I feel you on that. I would pull the pregnancy card too. That's hilarious. So yeah, soulmate's trying to get it in, Kate. Soulmate wants the baby, the soul babies. I can't go on that. Ruby, we also have the Magician for you too. So this is speaking of you kind of coming into a lot of power and a lot of your own personal magic through this. So definitely embrace that. Despite the way this innocence may be stirred up, it may ultimately be good if you find that you have to connect with the soulmate in private. Magenta Star Rose. We have the Tower card for you. So there's going to be upheaval, but with the Hermit card, things are going to kind of fall apart, so that it gives you more time to isolate yourself. Anything that's been taking your time, that hasn't been allowing you to tap into yourself, it's just going to crumble, so you finally have that time to. Should I move into my own place to be more in my own energy, or stay where I currently am with my boyfriend and his family? Okay, so both of them are definitely going to be good energies. If you move into your own place, you will get into your own energy. You'll become the Queen of Cups. You're going to develop a lot more of your psychic energy. If you stay, it's going to be a lot more comfortable. It might not be comfortable now, but things with your boyfriend and his family will be a lot more comfortable. So, and once again, we do have long-term here with the Ten of Pentacles. One thing, ooh, this is beautiful. So here's your choice here. We have a comfortable environment and we have wealth. If you go on your own place, though, we have emotional maturation, and we also have the Nine of Pentacles, okay? Independence. So if you move into your own place, you'll be successful, independent, more psychic, and independently rich. If you stay, you're going to sacrifice that independence, but you'll still have a comfortable soulmate situation, and you'll still be set financially. So I can't tell you which one to choose, but I have let you know the climate of which one. That's the first door, and that's the second door. No matter which you walk through, if you go or stay, you're going to be Gucci, which is not, it doesn't happen to everyone like that. So that's really awesome, okay? Brown Burrito, soulmate connection insight during this Pluto retrograde. We have the Six of Wands. So when it comes to soulmate connection, you're going to be dealing with someone who looks up to you. The soulmate connection is going to be someone who admires what you do, and vice versa. The pedestal you put on them is the pedestal they'll put you on, because both of you are rocking out, and there's going to be a new chapter during this Pluto retrograde that allows you both to really explore new frontiers. Jenny M. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is urging you to really just wait. Your harvest is going to be abundant. There's going to be a time where you have more money than you need, and there's going to be a lot of love around you, and it's not going to go away. But for now, you just need, over the next few months, and you don't have to wait that long, but you just need to allow this to come together, because there's so much that you're dealing with, and this is a huge abundance that's long lasting. So just continue to be patient and assess. You're definitely in the right way. Stephanie, am I going in the right direction in life and love? We have the Two of Swords, okay, and the Queen of Cups. So the Two of Swords is speaking of indecision, in the sense where you don't want to go left, you don't want to go right, because I get the sense that you're really dealing with not being able to open your heart as much as you want to, okay? And this is temporary, because the Queen of Cups is urging you to really go deeper within your feelings. But the Two of Swords is, when it comes to life and love, for now, keep a very compassionate but objective mindset. So when it comes to life and love, don't let your emotions control your decisions. But the Queen of Cups still wants you to acknowledge your emotions, but make a compromise between how you feel and go more with what you think. Okay, 22 and motive, 22nd motive, or 22 and motive. We have the Two of Wands, which is speaking of you kind of planning forth your life. And we have the Six of Cups, which is a soulmate card. So you're going to be seeing eye to eye with an important soulmate when it comes to what it is that you're having to move your life forward on, okay? And it's definitely going to allow for much greater comfort in your life based on where you're directing your life. Christy Carballo. Christy Carballo. Why am I seeing the numbers 111 everywhere all of a sudden? The 111 simulation is letting you know that you're about to start on a new journey, but it's not like a full card thing. There's an idea that's circulating. There's an idea that you're coming into, and that idea is about to be made very much so reality. So when you see 111, pay attention to what you're thinking of at that time. And also we have the Four of Wands. So the reason why you're seeing it everywhere is there is a new adventure, but you're about to manifest amazing news and energy. There's about to be a lot more financial independence and abundance you independently get. So it's just going to be really awesome. You're going to have so much more fun and happiness being in your community and your home. So congratulations for that. I want to leave everyone with the Fool card. Really open your mind and stay open to unlimited possibilities. We're on here for 4 hours. And until next time, peace.